Your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
And Bimini, and we are live this morning in 8 Mile Rock, Grand Bahama for this very special edition of Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's here. It's the start of the end of the old way. Revolution. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
It is Monday, November 20th, 2023. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. In a moment, Laverne Gardner will be joining us. Again, we're live in 8 Mile Rock in Grand Bahama. The countdown is on to the West Grand Bahama and Bimini by-election. We're coming to you outside the government complex in 8 Mile Rock. And I've got a few special things planned for you today. It's going to be a different type of show today, and we're going to be in Grand Bahama tomorrow as well. So we're looking forward to all of that. So again, the format's going to be a little bit different for the show as we focus on the by-election that's coming up. But that's going to be what we're dealing with today. And as we said, the format's going to be a little bit different, so let's get to an abbreviated headline version of what's in the news. FNM leader Michael Pintard alleging that the PLP is trying to buy votes. He alleges that $1,000 was placed in T-shirts. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Philip Davis telling Grand Bahama and Bimini that relief is coming soon, and the government signs a $2.8 million road project in Bimini. Overseas heavy fighting erupting today around a hospital in northern Gaza, where thousands of patients and displaced people have been sheltering for weeks. As Israel pressed an offensive, it says, is aimed at eradicating Hamas and uprooting their militant infrastructure. A shell struck the second floor of the Indonesian hospital, killing at least 12 people, according to the health ministry in Hamas-ruled Gaza, and a medical worker inside the facility. There was no immediate comment from the Israeli military. The advance coming a day after the World Health Organization evacuated 31 premature babies from Shifa Hospital with plans to bring them to Egypt. More than 250 critically ill or wounded patients remain stranded at the compound, which Israeli forces stormed days ago. The plight of Gaza's hospitals is at the focus of a battle of narratives over the war's brutal toll on Palestinian civilians, thousands of whom have been killed or buried in rubble since the conflict was sparked by Hamas's October 7th rampage into southern Israel. Israel says Hamas uses civilians as human shields and operated a major command hub inside and beneath Shifa, where critics say Israel's siege and relentless aerial bombardment amount to collective punishment of the territory's 2.3 million Palestinians. Meanwhile, China's top diplomat welcomed 4 Arab foreign ministers and the Indonesian one to Beijing on Monday, saying his country would work with, quote, our brothers and sisters in the Arab and Islamic world to try to end the war in Gaza as soon as possible. The ministers from Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Jordan, the Palestinian Authority, and Indonesia chose to start a tour of world capitals in Beijing, a testament to both China's growing geopolitical influence and its long-standing support for the Palestinians. The Chinese foreign minister telling the foreign diplomats that their decision to start in Beijing shows their high level of trust in his nation. In sports, the LA Rams rallied from a late deficit and snapped their 3-game skid with a 17-16 win over the Seattle Seahawks in NFL action. And from the late game, the Denver Broncos rallied to end the Minnesota Vikings 5-game winning streak, 21-20. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Weather for today, we've got a weak cold front that continues to drift across the southeastern islands while high pressure builds behind the front. A tight pressure gradient continues to generate moderate to fresh breezes. Boaters should be alert and exercise caution due to lingering swells. Beachgoers should exercise caution due to the moderate threat for rip currents along East Coast and Atlantic beaches. For all areas today, forecast calls for mostly sunny, warm, and breezy conditions with a chance of isolated passing showers, becoming fair and warm at night. Small craft operators should exercise caution due to lingering swells. Winds northeasterly to east at 15 to 20 knots in the northwest and central Bahamas, and 10 to 15 knots in the southeastern islands. Seas 4 to 6 feet near shore in the northwest and central Bahamas, but 2 to 4 feet in the southeast Bahamas. Seas up to 8 feet offshore in northeasterly swells. Temperature-wise, we're looking at highs getting up to around 86 Fahrenheit, 30 Celsius. Overnight lows getting down to 73 Fahrenheit, 23 Celsius. It is currently in 8 Mile Rock, where we're broadcasting live, 69 degrees under fair skies. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook coming up after traffic in just a bit. Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9, broadcasting live from Grand Bahama. We are in 8 Mile Rock. This special edition of the show brought to you by Western Air, Old Bahama Bay Resort, and KSR Rent-A-Car. We'll be back with more of the special edition of the show coming up after these messages here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Win a vacation for two to Sandals Resort in Jamaica using your RBC Visa credit card in the RBC Gift Yourself the Ultimate Getaway promotion. Just spend $1,500 or local equivalent. Promotion ends on December 18, 2023. Visit rbcultimategetaway.com for more details.
Wherever you're headed, the Custom Computers Know-How team is standing by to help guide you in the East and the West. We now have 2 convenient locations on Patton Street in Palmdale and our newest store in the Caves Village Shopping Plaza through the Blake Road entrance. Discover the latest products by top international brands and the knowledge you need to unleash tomorrow's technology today. Drop by Custom Computers out east or out west. We're open Saturdays from 10 till 4.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
J&J got what you need for everyday skincare. For that smooth skin, got Neutrogena, Aveeno Clean and Clear. We got Listerine that's gonna keep your breath fresh and clean. For all that you love, I'm gonna tell you what you need. Johnson & Johnson, Children's Motrin, Aveeno, Johnson, baby. Johnson & Johnson, Black Benadryl, got Tylenol and Bengay. Johnson & Johnson, Lubriderm, Imodium and Visine. For all that you love, I'm gonna tell you what you need. Johnson & Johnson.
Proudly distributed by Lowe's Wholesale.
What the?
Ooh, sorry,
It's
babes.
4 a.m. What you doing?
The CVS Bahamas Black Friday sale coming up November 24th and doors open 5 a.m. I doing a dry run because I won't be the first in line. They gonna have over 50 items on sale.
Now, you know I used to run track. Let me do a couple stretches. We gonna have to do a relay to cover that whole store.
Don't miss the Black Friday sale. Friday, November 24th at CBS Bahamas, Southwest Plaza location only.
Join the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce, SBDC Bahamas, and Alive Business on Saturday, November 4th from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. at Crypto Isle on East Bay Street. See what's new, sample products, demo services, and shop from a variety of businesses throughout our local communities. We hope to see you at Trade Expo 2023 on November 4th. Admission is free and the event is family friendly. For more information, call the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce at 322-2145.
Doctors Hospital has reimagined primary care. We have invested to improve our health system, ensuring that accessible, affordable, world-class clinical care is closer to you. We understand that your relationship with a primary care provider shapes the foundation of your overall health. Our new modern primary care facilities are where critical diagnoses and true personalized treatment begins. With locations across New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Exuma, we invite you to experience the Doctors Hospital difference. Book your next appointment at clinics.doctorshosp.com.
Get ready to jingle all the way to Christmas with Fidelity's festive giveaway with over $10,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs. Apply for a loan or open an ASUS savings account for a chance to win big. Visit any of our branches for more details. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. 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 Wake up, wake up. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's here. It's the start of the end of the old way. Revolution. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. It's a special edition of the show. We're coming to you from Grand Bahama, broadcasting live from 8 Mile Rock, right in the heart of the excitement for the by-election on Wednesday, the West Grand Bahama and Bimini by-election. We're going to be in Grand Bahama for 2 days, and we're getting a feel of what's happening on the ground here for the by-election. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Our own Grand Bahama girl, Laverne Gardner, is going to be joining us in just a moment. And this special edition of the show being brought to you by Western Air, Old Bahama Bay Resort, and KSR Rent-A-Car. Coming this morning, we're going to be meeting a couple of the candidates for the by-election and talking to them about their vision and their plans for this constituency, West Grand Bahama and Bimini. And more of that over the next couple of days. We're going to get into all of that as we are here on the ground on this Monday, November 20th. But right now, it is time to talk about what else is in the news. Of course, all the news seems to be focused on the by-election, and the headlines in the Nassau Guardian. A lot of rally talk, a lot of stuff has been said on the campaign trail. F&M leader Michael Pintard making some big claims, saying the PLP is trying to buy votes. Former Prime Minister Ingram says put the PLP in the doghouse. On the other side, Prime Minister Phil Davis says relief is coming soon for Grand Bahama and Bimini. All of this while the government signs a $2.8 million road project for Bimini. We can still take your calls, folks, and talk about these issues here. Give us a call, 323-6232, 325-4316. 325-4259. I really need to have the toll-free number. I'm going to ask my producer to text that to me really quickly because I don't remember it, unfortunately. Please text me the toll-free number, producer, because the people in Grand Bahama, this is your time to call, right, to tell us what you think about these issues this morning. I want to hear from you about that. All right, so let's get into it. And this is a common claim, isn't it? When we've got elections, Pintard saying that 1,000 $1,000 was placed inside T-shirts. 1,000, not 100. It's gone up to 1,000 now. This is where we are. He's saying this is at the rally on Friday night. Okay, yes, the number is 242-300-5720. 242-300-5720. Thank you very much. That is the toll-free line. All right, back to Pintard. At the rally on Friday night, he said that $1,000 found in T-shirts as the PLP alleges, as he alleges, the PLP is trying to buy the election. Okay. All right, just having a little technical challenge here, folks. We're trying to sort this out as it's another world, essentially. If you're out here, it is unbelievable. I cannot believe that we're in the same country, and how hard it is to do the things that you normally do when you're just a few miles away from home. It's just. You wouldn't believe it. But anyway, we're getting it together. Just waiting on some things and technology to come together so I could get the information to talk. So let's talk. What do you think about what's being said? You all know how it goes. I'm sure it's nothing new. Grand Bahama, this is not the first time there's been a by-election. It's not the first time these claims are being made. So it's the age-old story. That's one thing we love to do. The same thing over and over again. So yeah, they're going to be paving roads and promising stuff and opening things and signing contracts in the days before the by-election. Same old story. And people are going to claim that people trying to buy their votes and bought them food and bought them appliances and electronics. Is anything new happening? Anything new happening in this election? Doesn't seem so. The same old thing over and over and over. And where will we be in a year from now? In 5 years from now? Will anything really have changed? Let's talk about it. Let's hear what you got to say about it. Just unbelievable how it is always more of the same. All right, so here we go. We've got it. A little bit now. Our Candy Dame's writing about it. With the West Grand Bahama and Bimini by-election campaigns winding down, FNM leader Michael Pintard has introduced a very serious allegation, efforts at vote buying, which is prohibited under law. Okay. Pintard alleged that at a rally in Bimini on Friday night, that the governing Progressive Liberal Party had $1,000 in T-shirts, which it gave out at an event to open and name the government complex in West Grand Bahama, after the late Obi Wolshcombe, who was the MP for the area up to his death on September 25th. We're actually coming to you outside that complex, well, on the street outside the complex at the moment. Pintard said, quote, "The FNM, we have demonstrated over the years that if we had a choice between simple-natured politics and good governance, we'll choose good governance 7 days out of the week." Okay. He said, quote, "The government that is in today is a government that doesn't like to tell you about the money they have forced you to pay to them through taxation." He said today that they signed a road contract. Did the contract go out to tender? Did any of you know who the contractors are? Well, you say no and tell you that in almost every family island, this government continues to sign contracts without putting them out to competitive bidding. And so today we do not know, oftentimes, who the contractor is, how long the contract is, what is the scope of works, and what is the amount of money, your money. By the way, this is the same money that helped them to put $1,000 in some T-shirts in Grand Bahama when they had an event to open up a facility that was paid for by the government's money. Using a government facility, your money, to entice persons with $1,000 a pop. Wow. And then they went to some keys. We ain't calling no name, but they went to some keys and they slipped some $200 in some shirts. Only $200 on the keys? That's not right. Your money, by the way, in order to convince people who they have neglected over time that they are the better choice. Well, if you were the better choice, you wouldn't need to try and buy nobody. Well, asked yesterday to respond to Pintard's claims, PLP Chairman Fred Mitchell said, quote, he must have been doing so. He who asserts must prove. Mitchell added, quote, this is the usual. Is this pablum, he's saying? Okay, yeah, okay. Pablum when you are running a losing election. Is that supposed to be problem? Pintard could not be reached yesterday to answer whether he had any proof to support his claim. F&M Chairman Dr. Dwayne Sands was also unreachable. He was reachable, sorry. Dwayne Sands was reachable. Asked if the F&M has proof, he said, not categorical proof. Are we convinced that this is happening? Sure. Sands said the F&M received reports of vote-buying efforts from witnesses. The by-election is scheduled to take place on Wednesday. The PLP has adopted the theme One Love, which was Obie Wilscomb's personal mantra. Now, in addition to alleging efforts at vote buying, Pintard claimed Friday the PLP is, quote, not qualified to talk about love. Oh, my goodness. Okay. In fact, I believe one of the grounds for divorce is desertion. And they have deserted so many communities like West Grand Bahama, like Bimini. So now that they come back home, I just want you to tell them while you've been gone, I developed some more independence while you've been gone. I really don't like the way you touch me. Okay, I'm going to stop now. Anyway, okay. Interesting comments, folks. Interesting comments. All right. So that's that. On the other side, Prime Minister Davis, in this article, also by Arcandia Dames, as he and his team sought to make a sound case for why constituents of West Grand Bahama and Bimini should once again elect the PLP's candidate to represent them. Prime Minister Philip Davis, on Saturday night at a rally right here in West Grand Bahama, pledged that over the next 3 years, his administration will invest millions of dollars in home and roof repairs using local contractors so the money stays in the community. Smith said he won't make promises that he can't keep. So is this Smith saying this? So here's what I'm laying on the table. A 3-year deal. This isn't some empty promise. It's a plan, a commitment. And here's the kicker. If you like what we do in the 3 years, you get to say, Kingsley, we want more, and renew this deal for another 5. Davis also said, quote, only one candidate respects you enough to make this commitment. If he can't deliver those urgent home repairs and a rebuilt police station and free breakfast for more of your children, he's not going to come back in 3 years to ask for your support again. Oh, Wow, that's a serious thing to say. Okay. He was referring to Kingsley Smith, who was running on the PLP's ticket in the by-election for Wednesday. David said at the rally that the decision voters have to make is, it, quote, really ain't a hard decision. Okay, all right. So, lots of serious claims there, lots of promises being made. Laverne Gardner, we got you out in 8 Mile Rock. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's great to see you.
Here. It's good to see you in person.
In person.
It's been a while.
Not that long.
Not too long.
But, you know, it's always good to see you.
Yes.
8 Mile Rock, how often do you get down here?
Not as often as I would like.
Yeah?
Honestly.
All right, so you heard all those claims. $1,000 in T-shirts.
Yes, I heard that.
$200 for the keys. That shows you the priorities. But where's the proof? That's what the PLP is saying.
Absolutely. I mean, that's nothing new. We always hear claims of money T-shirts and, you know, those kinds of things around an election time. So a by-election would be no different. It came from somewhere, right? You know, either one person started this and now it's continuing, but, you know, I always say Bahamian rumors, some truth mixed up in there somehow, some way. But, yeah, that's usually the claim around this time.
But does it even work? I mean, right? People will say they'll take the stuff and...
People do what they're going to do. Listen, people look you in your face, shake your hand, and say, yes, you will get my support. And then they go into the polls and they do something completely different when it's time to vote. So, you know, how many of us are going to pass up an opportunity to get money in a T-shirt? Be like, no, I'm not going to take it. Take it and do what you want to do.
When you open it up to put it on, then you find it.
And then,
right. And then you can't. You don't know
who am I going to return it to,
exactly.
right? But people are going to do what it is that they believe is right for them, for their families, for their communities, regardless of whether there's money in T-shirt, money with keys. I don't know. You know, I'm not going to delve into that. But at the end of the day, people are going to do what they believe to be right for themselves.
Yeah.
First and foremost, for themselves. Yeah. And then by extension, their family, their community.
All right, so let's get a lay of the land here. So this is pretty far from where you live, right? Well, I mean,
nothing is far in Grand Bahama.
Okay.
Nothing is far.
It
took me 15 minutes to get here.
Driving like a Grand Bahamian?
And that's only because I do not speed. Right?
Okay.
So I'm not a speeder. So it took me 15 minutes. I'm sure there are people who traverse this way, they can do it in a much shorter time.
Wow, okay. All right.
And I live in Bahamia, so, you know, that's relatively close, I guess.
But you can feel the difference between this area and Freeport Lucaya. I mean...
I feel the difference. You could see the difference.
Yeah.
You can absolutely, there is a difference. There's a complete difference. You know when you've left Freeport Lucaya proper and you've either entered the western or eastern part of the island.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's for people from New Providence and other parts of the country who might not be familiar with that, describe it. Describe what that means. You can feel the difference. You can see the difference. I'll let you go first, and I can tell people what it seems like to me.
Here's the best way to compare it. If you are in New Providence, that's how the eastern and western parts of the island look. They look like you're in different parts of New Providence. You can disagree, but you know what I mean.
Because it depends. Far East is a little different from Mid East.
All right.
Sure, let's go with
So
Cable
that's why
Beach,
I said in
Cable
different
Beach
parts of the
Robinson
island.
Road.
Okay?
How about
all
that?
right.
Right?
So we could
Producer,
do that.
you agree with that? Cable Beach versus Robinson Road.
Okay.
So as soon as you cross in, it was like, oh.
Right.
Okay.
So that's essentially the same.
No offense to anybody.
Right.
At all.
That's essentially the same when you leave Freeport Lucaya and you enter either, like I said, the eastern part of the island.
All right. So the big thing is that Freeport Lucaya
yes,
managed
by the Grand Bahama Port Authority. Correct.
And 8 Mile Rock and West End
government.
The government of the Bahamas.
Yes, correct.
In Nassau makes the decisions.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. All of the decisions.
That's one of the
including where we are at the very moment.
Yes.
Because we
That
were
is
hoping
correct.
to be a little bit closer, but we were told that somebody had to make a call to Nassau.
Right.
And the
To
call
get
came
permission.
back. Right. Which is like, what? And they called Nassau like, no. Like, okay.
Are you surprised?
You know,
Why are you surprised?
I mean, this is a government complex, right?
Right.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Okay. The answer was going to come back no.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. You should not have been shocked.
Calling Nassau, though, took me to...
This is
took
the way
me-
it's set up. Why
Yeah.
did that take you by surprise?
Because
You've
this
lived
is what I've
in
been
the
saying.
Bahamas in your entire life. You know the way that it works. We like to have power very centralized. We're not going to decentralize power. Somebody has to make the
So
call.
you got to be careful with the we. Who's the we? You mean the people in power? Because do
absolutely.
you like that? Do you like that while
Absolutely.
you're
I am
here in 8 Mile
referring-
Rock,
I am referring
somebody has to call
to-
Nassau to make a decision?
I am referring to the people in power. I'm referring to the people in power. So that is that is the way the system is. And so you shouldn't be shocked. Although we may want it to be different, we may agitate for it to be different. At this present time, it is not different.
Okay.
So that call had to be made.
Yeah. Is it we? Do we really want that? Or it just mean Laverne and a couple other people?
There are people who have a desire for that, even if they don't necessarily call it what we call it. They know that they want something different, right? They may not have a name for it, but they're sitting in their homes, they're having conversations, and they're saying, this isn't working, especially if they've ever had to navigate the system.
Where does that get you? Sitting in your homes having that discussion.
Where does it get any of us? That's where the conversation started, right?
Ah, boy.
It started in somebody's home, at a bar, in a room with friends, and then, some people, not all those people who were in the conversation decided to continue to agitate. But that's where the conversation starts from.
My goodness. All right. Let's go to this call. Good morning, caller. You're on Morning Blend. Coming to you live from 8 Mile Rock in Grand Bahama.
Good morning, sir. How you doing? Hello.
Good morning. Go ahead. We can hear you.
Okay, good. Yes. Referring to the article in the paper about the buying of the votes, right? I mean, okay, let's see. Why would the PLP buy votes from their supporters who attended an event that they are hosting? I mean, that one doesn't add up to me. But you know something, right? There's a video circling. I think Lincoln Bain did it. With doing the advance poll in the back of the area where they having the vote is taking
I
place.
feel you're
right?
going to go and make a serious allegation. We won't be able to corroborate or anything, so it could get us into trouble. But yeah, there's always some controversial stuff happening around elections. But thank you very much. Thank you very much, caller. Appreciate it. All right. So why would they do that? But it's not the first time we've heard this again, right?
Nothing new. We
Yeah.
always hear this. There's always some talk of some sort of bribery to sway voters in a particular way. Whether it's like the caller said, it wouldn't make sense to, I guess, bribe, for lack of a better term, your own supporters.
Got to remind them.
Unless you're just encouraging them to go in and, evangelize their message. I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of money and T-shirts. I just want to say publicly that nobody has ever offered me. I've never been a beneficiary. No one has even offered me a bottle of water. I don't really know how that works.
I mean, human beings are different. For some people, they're going to say, they took care of me, so I can show them something, right?
Right.
And that might work for somebody. It's pathetic and sad. But we can't understand what some others are going through.
Well, I will say this. Whatever the amount of money is, that amount of money, if it's true, because it's alleged, so let's continue in that vein, saying that it's alleged until we get some sort of concrete proof. But if you divide that money over the next 2.5 years, that's how you got to look at it. You know, divide that every day, each day for the next 2.5 years. $1,000, $500, $100. Like, what really is that? Pennies. It's pennies. And so you think about the fact that you are putting your hopes, dreams for your constituency, investing it in this person, if you're just doing it because they gave you money for that's not even going to last you maybe a day, a week. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Again, continue to call in, folks. Call us toll free if you were here in Grand Bahama, 242-300-5720. Or call us on our regular call lines, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. All right, we got a few text messages. This person says here, Fred Mitchell and Brave didn't want to nominate OB. They did nothing for him in West Grand Bahama and Bimini in 2 years because they didn't want it to be seen that he did anything to merit a nomination in 2026. Well, that's a serious claim.
I can neither confirm or nor deny that.
I mean, that's how things work.
But
plenty of people, they don't want to run in 2026, though.
Right.
They don't want to run in 2026.
My only question is this. I've heard over and repeatedly, we want to continue the work that OB started. And my only question is this. What work?
Social services and social services. No?
You can't say in social services because there's no guarantee that you're going to be the social service minister, right? So I want to know, and when you were talking to the constituents in West Grand Bahama and Bimini, to what work are you referring that you would like to continue? I've not heard that articulated to say, well, you know that he was doing X, Y, and Z, and we're going to continue to do that. We're going to elevate that. We're going to build on that.
You heard that there were plans. Just don't know what the plans were.
That's all. I just want to know what the plans were. And every constituent in this area should want them to articulate that. What were these plans?
This texter says here, what is new is that everyone should follow and stop the nonsensical practice of voting. Okay, it's a total sham and never benefits the masses, only the elected few. Prove me wrong, stop wasting your time. It's simple. That's
okay, well, that's a view.
Okay, you're looking for more trouble. That's all I know, if you're doing that. Looking for bigger trouble than you have now. Let us know if you have any more calls, producer. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, or toll free 242-300-5720. Text us 422-4796. All right, so a lot of people, what do you think of this? A lot of people, pundits, talk show hosts, everyone's talking about it, saying all kinds of things about how significant this is going to be and what this is going to mean. And if this one wins, what this means for this party. And if this one loses, what that means for that thing. Do you think it's going to make any bit of difference at all? Should it? Does it matter? Is it a referendum on the leading parties? What will this mean in the grand scheme of things? What was that, Laverne?
It should mean something.
It should?
It should mean something.
Like what?
Well, let's put it like this. If the governing party does not retain this seat, then they need to say to themselves, how did we lose the people? How did we lose the support? What is it that we did or did not do? And so it takes them thinking about that, considering that, and preparing because election is right around the corner. And so now we have to strategize how we're going to win that seat again. So they have to think about that.
And what about the opposition?
If the opposition does not gain this seat, they didn't. The official opposition. If they do not win this seat, I mean, and they didn't have it to start with, but but
They've had it before.
Yeah, they've had it before, but they didn't have it in this cycle. And so, but I would say to them that they would still also need to sit down and look at who candidates they're putting forth. Why isn't their message resonating with the people? You know, so you still have to look at that.
Well, I mean, something interesting is happening, and anyway, the government is telling you that their candidate is going to have a seat at the table. He's going to be able to do all these things. If you put in any of these other people,
are
they
people
won't be able to do
listening to
anything.
that? Are people paying attention to that?
Well, what does that even mean?
Exactly.
And is that bribery? Is that a threat? Is that what is that?
That sounds like bribery to me. That sounds like bribery to me. So then, are you saying, by saying that, are you saying the other people who are members of parliament who are not a part of the government, they do not have a voice? They are incapable of doing things in their community?
Yeah.
And is it because the government is blocking them? What does that mean?
Yeah.
And again, that's constituents need to ask, what do you mean? Is that a threat? Are you saying that if we don't vote for you and we vote somebody else
Nothing's gonna happen.
nothing is going to happen? Not because of lack of trying, but because maybe you're going to put stumbling blocks in their way? Like, I think we need to really pay attention to what is being said publicly and at these rallies and all of these things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't just get excited with the music and the personal public digs at the opposing, people. Listen to what is being said and what is being inferred and what's not being said.
Absolutely. We've got a few text messages here. This person says there, I've been a PLP for the last 3 out of 4 elections. I haven't seen them yet. Not even met my candidate yet. The FNM already seen the FNM 5 times. I feel neglected. These parties need to stop talking or taking the people for granted. Okay. Dwight, why are you acting like you have in a T-shirt? Never one day.
I am never.
No one likes me that much.
Dwight, I'm never there. I'm never on the scene when this is happening.
I don't understand
or
it.
If I am, I don't know. What's wrong with me? What is it that I'm doing wrong that I'm not getting that? Because I have never experienced that.
I'm much more likely to not vote for the person who gives me money in a T-shirt. So if the opposition or, an opposition party were to put it in the wrong T-shirt, I would, vote against them. So, right? You get what I'm saying? Like something like that. It's not going to work for you. It's not going to work well. Ask Pintard if his party ever gave money to people before an election. Yeah, okay. We got another call. Good morning, call. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight. Hello?
Are you there?
Yes, hello, Dwight.
Hi.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, good morning, Dwight, and good morning, Laverne.
Good morning.
Yes, Dwight, that's my opinion. I look at this election and feel about Dwight. You remember I always call your show and remind you about the status quo of this nation, right?
Yep.
Yes, that's what this election is all about. The FNM and the PLP are out there fighting hard for one thing, because Obi Wills Kameen had no weight going on. So they're just trying to demonstrate that we keep that going on, because he ain't never had no weight going on. So once you are elected, that's exactly what we can continue. Nothing going on. Because the status quo in this country is to keep the BM buckled between the FNM and the PLP, so nothing happens. And if anybody have eyes and can see that's been happening for 50 years in this country, right? There's no development, no place around the country other than if it ain't tourism-based, owned by some foreign entities, right? So I'm hoping that the people in the Grand Bamba put a spanking on the Progressive Liberal Party and the FLM, right? Because the status quo needs to end in this country, right? You guys have a nice night.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. They're hearing somebody saying they're hearing some static. Maybe they're hearing the the cars driving by. We are coming to you live from 8 Mile Rock in Grand Bahama. It's a special edition of Morning Blend as we're getting ready for the by-election, which is going to be here on Wednesday. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk to a couple of the candidates throughout today and tomorrow and find out more about what's happening here on the ground in West Grand Bahama and Bimini. This is Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
Way out where live this dame, she'll put any dancer to shame. If you want to watch her dance, want to watch her prance, get her in a circle, watch that lady dance. She got a West End move, she got a West End groove, she got a West End move, she got a West End groove. She say, come here, let me show you how we does go. Cause when you come to West End, you might meet old Joe. Now here is a story about this man, so you would better.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
This is AP News. I'm Rita Foley. She inspired the nation, say President and Mrs. Biden. Former First Lady Rosalind Carter has died at the age of 96. The AP's Sagar Magani.
Rosalind Carter was outwardly shy with a soft Southern accent, but had an iron will and Jimmy's closest White House advisor.
It's always been my wife of 63 years that made it possible for me to do whatever I've done.
And over the years, we've become not only friends and lovers, but partners.
Aides sometimes privately called her his co-president. Mrs. Carter sat in on cabinet meetings, represented her husband abroad, and pushed issues like mental health.
For too long, these people have not received the care they need.
They were the longest married first couple, more than 77 years, before Mrs. Carter died yesterday at their Georgia home. Sagar Magani, Washington.
Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin is in Kyiv, Ukraine's capital, this morning, a show of support. Lots of fighting around another hospital in Gaza this morning. It's called the Indonesian Hospital. Thousands of patients and others have been sheltering there for weeks. And there's word that babies evacuated from Gaza's Shifa Hospital have now arrived in Egypt. Here at home, millions of us are expected to travel for the Thanksgiving holiday. The National Weather Service's Peter Mullinax with what you could face if you're traveling in the east.
One of the more notable impacts for Tuesday, especially maybe for air travel, will be gusty up and down, basically from the Virginia Tidewater on north up into the interior northeast. And by Wednesday morning, we've got snow that's really starting to take shape across much of northern New England, again staying rain along the I-95 corridor.
President Biden pardons 2 Thanksgiving turkeys today at the White House. The part of that Los Angeles freeway closed because of an arson fire reopened this morning. This is AP News. A warning this morning from South Korea to the north about a planned spy satellite. The AP's Charles de Ledesma.
South Korea's military has warned North Korea not to go ahead with its planned spy satellite launch. A senior official has suggested South Korea could suspend an inter-Korean agreement to reduce tensions and resume frontline aerial surveillance in response. North Korea's first 2 attempts to put a spy satellite into space failed, and its promised 3rd attempt has been delayed. Seoul officials say the delay likely was because the North's receiving Russian technology assistance, and the launch could happen in the coming days. The UN security satellite launches by North Korea because it views them as a disguised test of its missile technology. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Sugar is trading at the highest prices worldwide since 2011. I'm Rita Foley, AP News.
for this morning? Brought to you by RBC. Get a no-fee RBC loan plus 5 chances to win up to $5,000. In your real-time traffic for New Providence, as usual on a Monday morning, got heavy traffic on Mile Butler Highway from well south of the Fire Trail roundabout straight up to Tawny Williams-Darling Highway. That's in northbound lanes there. Traffic a little backed up along Tawny Williams-Darling Highway as well. Over on Glaston Road, same in the northbound lanes. This morning from Fire Trail straight up to JFK Drive. Eastern Road also seeing heavy traffic east of Fox Hill straight up to Johnson Road, Prince Charles Drive, the major intersections, especially Fox Hill Road and Beatrice Avenue, and Soldier Road, and then Robinson from Soldier straight through to Marathon Road, heavy traffic for you westbound. Marathon also, or Soldier, seeing heavy traffic northbound to the intersection with Wolf Village and Bernard Road. Elsewhere, seeing some heavy traffic on Carmichael westbound on the way to Coral Harbor Road. Since we're here in Grand Bahama, a traffic outlook, nothing much to talk about. Smooth sailing for you on the streets of this island. But that is your first look at traffic from RBC. Learn more at rbc.com/Caribbean/Christmas Cash. 5 time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Easy Car Sales. We've got a weak cold front that continues to drift across the southeastern islands while high pressure builds behind the front. A tight pressure gradient continues to generate moderate to fresh breezes. Boaters should exercise caution to lingering swells. Beachgoers should exercise caution due to the moderate threat of rip currents along East Coast and Atlantic beaches. For all areas today, we're looking at mostly sunny, warm, and breezy conditions with a chance of isolated passing showers, becoming fair and warm at night. Smoke-craft operators should exercise caution due to lingering swells. After around 86 Fahrenheit, 30 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to 73 Fahrenheit, 23 Celsius. In extended outlook, high pressure expected to remain the dominant weather feature across the islands, promoting fresh to strong breezes and cool conditions. So for Tuesday and Wednesday, we're looking at sunny and breezy conditions with a chance of isolated passing showers, becoming fair and breezy at night. We'll have a look at the tropics in these final few weeks of the Atlantic hurricane season coming up for you in our next weather check after the 8 o'clock news. But this weather check brought to you by Easy Car Sales. With the cost of gas today, it's time to go green. Drive an electric vehicle from Easy Car Sales. Save big on fuel and maintenance costs. Take a spin and find out how to dump the pump at easy242.com. We'll be back with more Morning Blend after these messages here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
It's a Christmas wish for all of you. Get a no-fee loan from RBC. It's true.
This Christmas, true with a no-fee loan from RBC. You have 5 chances to win up to $5,000 Christmas cash.
It's a Christmas wish for all of you. Get a no-fee loan from RBC. It's true.
Learn more at rbc.com/Caribbean/Christmas cash. Subject to normal lending criteria. Conditions apply.
What the?
Ooh, sorry,
It's 4 a.m. What you doing?
The CBS Bahamas Black Friday sale coming up November 24th and doors open 5 a.m. I doing a dry run because I won't be the first in line. They gonna have over 50 items on sale.
Now, you know I used to run track. Let me do a couple stretches. We gonna have to do a relay to cover that whole store.
Don't miss the Black Friday sale. Friday, November 24th at CBS Bahamas. Southwest Plaza location only.
Wherever you are in the world, Cleveland Clinic's world-class care is here for you. From Ohio to Florida to London, Cleveland Clinic treats thousands of patients every year. Ranked number 2 in the world by Newsweek, you can trust our caregivers across each step of your treatment journey. For every care in the world, learn more at clevelandclinic.org/Caribbean.
You've tried everything. ASUS with your mother's cousin's sister's auntie, and even hiding your money under your mattress. But is your money safe? Your Bahamian dollar deposit in a member bank or credit union is insured up to $50,000. If anything happens, your deposit up to the insured value will be returned to you thanks to Deposit Insurance. Visit Deposit Insurance Corporation at www.dic.bs.
Protection for your money guaranteed with DIC.
What would you do with extra cash? Plan a trip.
Overhaul my wardrobe.
With CIBC First Caribbean, you can get comfy with savings on your mortgage cost. Buy or build your home or switch your mortgage to us and get up to US $1,000 off the loan application fee. Up to US $2,000 off home insurance. With up to US $10,000 towards switching costs, your pockets will be comfy too. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/get conditions apply.
Holiday Madness is going on now at BWF Wilton Street. Deals, 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 and more deals. Come save with us. Get up to 50% off during Black Friday pre-Christmas 6 days blowout sale event. For all you need and more this holiday season, shop BWF for super savings. Doorbuster specials, lots of prizes, surprises, and giveaways Monday, November 20th through Saturday, November 25th, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Save big on Christmas supplies, Junkanoo and craft supplies, appliance combo specials, barbecue grills, household, kitchen and outdoor cooking supplies, lawn and garden, hardware supplies, industrial and power tools, generators, compressors and pressure washers, and much more. BWF Black Friday pre-Christmas sale. Number 13 Wilton Street. Telephone 394-0004 or 6. BWF, we are more than just our name.
Earning zero interest on your savings at the bank? With as little as $100, you can start earning interest on your money waiting in line at the bank with the CFAL Savings Express Plan. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
Gearing up to bag those Black Friday deals? Use your Scotia credit card and use it to enjoy those amazing deals in-store or online. You could be one of 5 lucky winners from a jackpot of $1,000 with any purchase of $120 or more from November 23rd to the 28th. Don't have a Scotia credit card yet? Apply today for a Scotiabank credit card online at bs.scotiabank.com or visit any Scotiabank branch. The more you shop, the more chances you have to win. Learn more at bs.scotiabank.com. Conditions apply.
There's a new amount, the Jack brand of SUVs, trucks, sedans, and commercial vans, available only at Easy Car Sales, home of the fully electric vehicle. For a powerful, smooth ride at a fraction of the cost to drive, leave the pump behind and hit the road with Jack. Visit easy242.com to see our brand new Jack models and drop into Easy Car Sales for a test drive. It'll have you singing. Hit the road with Jack, and don't you pump gas no more.
Tonight's big matchup with Infection United is about to start. Kate has possession of the flu. She coughs up a pass across to Steve, who gives it to William. William is causing headaches on the field. He spreads it to Rachel, who scores! A hospital bed.
Don't play with respiratory infections like influenza or COVID-19. They can lead to hospitalization and even death. Advise patients to keep a safe distance, practice good hygiene, and get vaccinated. Don't play with their health.
This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health and Wellness, PAHO WHO, and the Canadian government.
What would you plan a trip?
Overhaul my wardrobe.
With CIBC First Caribbean, you can get comfy with savings on your mortgage cost. Buy or build your home or switch your mortgage to us and get up to US $1,000 off the loan application fee. Up to US $2,000 off home insurance. With up to US $10,000 towards switching costs, your pockets will be comfy too. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/get comfy for more information. Conditions apply.
This is Guardian 9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Mr. Johnson trying to find Freddie and Margaret looking for Lil. They look all around on Bay Street, Baintown, Palmdale and over the hill. Cross the bridge to Paradise Island, but alas to no avail. So they all come to one conclusion, they're in Freeport or they're in jail. So if you're looking, searching and worrying, you'll find it's true without any fail. If you can't find your friends in Nassau, they're in Freeport or they're in jail. Auntie Alice looking for Mary, and she cousin Leslie and Gail. She even fly to Miami, Coral Gable and Fort Lauderdale. But she still come to this conclusion after using plane, car and sail. If you can't find your friends in Nassau, they're in Freeport or they're in jail. So if you're looking, searching and worrying, you'll find it's true without any fail. If you can't find your friends in Nassau, they're in Freeport. Oh! Supreme Court now was in session. The defense done put on hero. The prosecution come with the evidence.
This is on Guardian Radio 96.9. It's a special edition of the show. We're coming to you from 8 Mile Rock in Grand Bahama. This show brought to you by Western Air, Old Bahama Bay Resort, and KSR Rent-A-Car. We're here getting a feel for by-election. By-election fever is here for the West Grand Bahama and Bimini constituency. And Dwight Strong, along with Laverne Gardner, live for you on the ground. All right, so we're going to be meeting the candidates, as many of them as we can. We invite everybody. And we've got our first one with us here outside the government complex in 8 Mile Rock. Janelle Burrows.
Good morning, good morning.
Good morning, good morning.
Good morning, Bahamas.
You've been on the show a number of times.
Yes, thank you for having me.
But this is a very different capacity. And people know you for being, you've run before in Elizabeth, in New Providence. And it was quite a surprise when you announced that you were going to be running in West. And we can't lie, words like opportunist came up, and not just for you, for some others as well. Why did you decide to do this? Why did you, is it fair to say, abandon the people of Elizabeth?
I will never abandon the people of Elizabeth. Elizabeth is where I was born and where I moved to in 2017 when we had the general election there, where I came right after the first three parties, fourth place out of 8 candidates. And I like the word that you use because a derivative of that word is opportunity, and I will take any opportunity I see to bring child protection issues to the forefront, to get someone in the House of Assembly that I know can handle those legislative agenda properly. And at this point, I can't see anybody else who's going to do that except me.
Okay, so this is interesting. I can't say for certain, but we don't hear much talk about legislative positions from some of the other candidates. It's about what we could do for you and whatever. But that is what an MP does, mainly, right? Or maybe we should ask you what you legislate to make laws, to amend, change, all that stuff, as opposed to doing stuff for people. So that's a lot of questions there. But let's talk about that. The fact that you are focused on that as opposed to promising to pave roads and
I don't make any promises, but I do guarantee that I will put the same effort that I put behind the child protection movement into working for a constituency that I'm entrusted with. So 15 years is you could just Google Chada Burrows and you can see for yourself the work that we've been doing. I just decided at some point, instead of having to appeal to the powers that be, try to become a power that is, so that we can make a difference in a substantive way.
Mm-hmm. What has the support been like so far for you here? You're an outsider though, right?
Well, my parents live in Grand Bahama, not in this part of Grand Bahama. My aunt also used to be the vice president of the University of the Bahamas. 25 years ago, when I first started my music career, I collaborated with numerous Grand Bahamian recording artists, Lisa Bonafide Davis and people like that. And so I have a connection to the constituency. A lot of people from Turks here. My grandfather is from Turks. He's Cornelius Adams, one of my grandparents. So honestly, I believe I am a citizen of the entire archipelago of the Bahamas. It don't matter if I was a Nassau gal. I lay claim to every single island. So I'm going to get to know West End a little bit more intimately since I've made this move to seek to represent them. So I will add them to my cadre of places that I care about and will do my best to, inform about opportunities like I have been doing for the Elizabeth constituents for the past 6 years, grant opportunities, scholarships, things of that nature. The little I could do with the limited resources that I have, I will do also now for those who have entrusted their WhatsApp contact with me through West End and West Grand Bahama and Bimini.
Danielle, having come to Grand Bahama, in particular West Grand Bahama, what were your thoughts when you first got here, looking around, having the opportunity to speak with not everyone because there's only some, but just speaking with people? What were your thoughts, your impression of this area of Grand Bahama?
Well, I feel like in a sense it's a tight-knit area, and people kept threatening like, oh, they're not gonna like outsiders, and I keep telling you, I'm not an outsider at the end of the day. The reception that I've gotten is very warm from a vast majority of people. A lot of people said that they're done with the two-party system that they've been enabling for all these decades. We'll see what happens at the polls. I just encourage people to be courageous and vote aside from those major party lines because, whereas they might have a bunch of fanfare and rallies and parties and shindigs and, the rest of us don't, at the end of the day, I think we have 3 quality candidates for different reasons that are not affiliated with any major party. And I just hope that you would go with the hummingbird because the 15 years that I gave to child protection and the 25 years that I've given to help try to develop the local performing arts industry in the Bahamas has to count for something. But if I'm able to get in Parliament, what I do give you word about is that I will attempt to outperform the opposition. I will be named a member of the Public Accounts Committee where I will ensure that facility is properly utilized to its fullest capacity. I will present bills to Parliament for consideration, particularly an overhaul of the Child Protection Act and legislation related to creative industries. And of course, I do believe in local government in the truest sense of throughout the Family Islands. I want us to improve and tweak that as far as possible and also introduce real local government to New Providence.
Okay, let's talk a little more about that. I told you the story off air. I told the listeners earlier about how a call had to be made to Nassau to facilitate our broadcast, and it didn't quite happen because somebody in Nassau, I guess, didn't approve. But this is ridiculous, right? We're on an island miles away from New Providence. Real local government. You mentioned New Providence, but they don't really have real local government here in Grand Bahama. What's your view on that? Does this island need more autonomy? What's your vision for Grand Bahama and other islands in the country?
Well, I'd like you to invite Pat Ramming on the show because he has very, very detailed ideas of what local government should be versus what exists currently. I don't know the ins and outs the way that he does, and I'm sure that nuances throughout every single island. I'm sure local government is done differently there. But in terms of budgets, in terms of the electoral process, in terms of ensuring that people are from within the area that they live, party affiliation within the local government process, those things I think are blatantly obvious and need some fixing. So get Pat Ramming on the show. But as far as local government in West Grand Bahama, I think from what I've been hearing, there can be improvement there, just along the lines of what I'm seeing here generally for the Bahamas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you see as is the role of a member of parliament, an MP?
Well, the main role of a member of parliament is supposed to be, but they don't hype this up on the campaign trail, but it's supposed to be legislative amendments and proposing bills, voting on bills, that sort of thing, which would become law, which is a very important facility of a member of parliament. Most of the candidates on the campaign trail would say what they want to do for the constituency. I want to say both, what I bring to a constituency in terms of leadership and advocacy work, but also what my work would be inclusive of in the House of Parliament. So if local government were at the place where it was clean and pristine, we gave it an opportunity to have a real go with a true budget and good council people from within the constituency, that would allow for the member of parliament to focus on a more legislative agenda while the local government council persons, mayor, chief councilor, whatever we want to call them, can focus on the local level concerns and community level concerns in an effective and efficient way.
Mm-hmm. And you would push for this?
I would absolutely push for that. That's more ways to empower us. And I also would push for people and citizens to get involved in any way you can. Some people think that just during a by-election or a general election, that's the only time you have a voice and the only time you have a democratic right to show what you're into. But every day you have a choice. You can sign up and volunteer with a nonprofit organization that you believe in. You can actually donate, if you have the funds to do that, to that organization. If you don't have the funds to donate and you don't have the time to volunteer, you might go on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, wherever, Instagram, and say, hold on, I like this post. I'm going to share this post so my friends can see the work that this organization is doing. So there are many, many ways to get involved. You can petition. Like we have a petition now with Rise of Bahamas on change.org. It's change.org/child protection 242. You can go on there and say, hey, we believe the child protection needs to become a national priority. Every single week we see children going missing. We see children being harmed. We see the child abuse statistics increasing with sexual rape of children. Now is the time Bahamians to become hummingbirds. And it's time for us to fly in every single possible way that we could think of.
Mm-hmm. What do you see some of the pressing issues that need to be addressed here in this constituency, West Grand Bahama and Bimini?
Well, people always talk about the infrastructural stuff that I think local government needs to be empowered to deal with. The roads, the lighting on the road to West and Grand Bahama is non-existent. Mm-hmm. Other things related to my platform, child protection, they want the schools that have been partially built to be completed. They want after-school care, tutoring, and programming for their children. They want sports activities and mind games, chess lessons. And apart from that, they want a complex where they can have their fish shop, like a Geneva Bra Seafood or a Paradise Fisheries. They don't have one of those proper in West Grand Bahama at this point. Bimini is saying the same thing about ensuring that the children have that tutoring and after-school programs happening. So there's a lot of different issues, right down to NIB contributions and payments being lackluster, to a whole myriad. But, once I'm elected as a member of parliament, I'll have to look at these constituency level concerns, prioritize them, and go from there. There is $150,000. It doesn't matter if you run with the PLP, the F&M, or bada boom, bada bing. Every member of parliament is given $150,000 annual allowance for constituency improvements. Every member of parliament, just like the prime minister, just like the deputy prime minister, has a vote in parliament when they're debating different bills. Every member of parliament can bring legislation to the floor for consideration. Every member of parliament has that platform which they can use to make sure that the needs of their constituents and the wider Bahamian public at large are met.
Mm-hmm. People always bring it up, debates. Why don't we have debates? What are your views on debates? Would that have been helpful in this campaign?
Well, as simple as showing up to different radio programs where you have an opportunity, or television programs, to be on the same show with other candidates, whether it's debate style or not. I'm not sure why the major parties tend to, or seem to, shy away from those. But I guarantee you, Mr. Swain, Mr. Bain, Ms. Burrows, we would have been up for any debates that were happening. And I'm sure that would have been a sight for sore eyes, because you got some talkers there. I ain't no talker like them, but you got some talkers on this ticket.
All right, we're running out of time, but to those who are saying to Neil Burrows, what are you doing? Why did you waste that money? Why are you doing this? You're a long shot. You got no chance here. Why don't you use your energy in some other way? What do you say to those folks?
The opportunity to meet the couple of hundred people that I did and see them face to face and talk about child protection as a priority of this government, of this country, to talk about how we have a high rate of recidivism among young men between the ages of 18 and 25 in particular, to tell them the story of how when I ran in Elizabeth in 2017, I met a young man from that. Oh, you know me, eh? You ain't know me from the papers. I was arrested, and for this, I was charged with this serious crime, and he was bragging about it. I said, well, you change your ways now, right? He said, yeah, man, I want to be a rapper, I want to be a singer like you. I was like, what? He's like, yeah. I had no opportunities to offer that young man. So when it comes to the development of creative industries in this country, I guarantee you, we can get young men to put down their guns and pick up a microphone if they knew that they could make it big, like all the American superstars that they see. And we have the capacity to create and develop a viable creative and performing arts industry in the Bahamas. And that would I guarantee you it would be a deterrent to crime to some degree.
30 seconds. What are you doing over today and tomorrow in the lead up to Wednesday's by-election?
Well, I'm going to buy some basketball nets to put on a court in West End that some little kids that I gave a basketball to are asking about. I'm going to meet with all the other candidates and the Department of Parliamentary Registration. I'm going to relax a little bit and try not to hype myself up too much. But most of all, I want to tell you in closing the story of the hummingbird and why that's my symbol. It's nothing to do with me singing. I didn't even put two and two together when I came up with the story. There's this old African proverb, animals resided. And these animals saw one day that the forest was burning to the ground, caught fire. So the animals were just standing on the sideline in dismay. Out of the corner of his eye, the elephant sees this hummingbird buzzing back and forth, back and forth. The elephant says, "Hummingbird, what you doing?" The hummingbird says, "I'm taking drops of water from the river to the fire." And the elephant say, "Man, you ain't making no sense, because you too tiny, you get burned up, and your drops of water ain't making no difference." The elephant looked down at the hummingbird then looked down at the elephant's trunk, swinging away, and said, "I'm doing the best I can," and she kept on flying. So Dwight, you are a hummingbird, Laverne. You are a hummingbird. Wally, behind the scenes, you are a hummingbird. We have an opportunity in West Grand Bahama and Bimini to show the Bahamians how our collective power can supersede anything else.
Janelle Burrows, thank you so much for talking with us this morning. We appreciate it. Good luck to you. And we are here in 8 Mile Rock. This is Morning Blend. We're back after the news.
Searching and worrying, you'll find it's true without any fail. If you can't find your friends in Nassau, they're in Freeport or they're in jail. Auntie Alice looking for Mary, and she cousin Leslie and Gail. She even fly to Miami, Coral Gable and Fort Lauderdale. But she still come to this conclusion after using plain car and sail. If you can't find your friends in Nassau, they're in Freeport or they're in jail.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered 4796. Standard text rate supply. And we're coming to you live in 8 Mile Rock in Grand Bahama. We're here for a couple of days ahead of the by-election for West Grand Bahama and Bimini on Wednesday. More on that in a moment, but at 8:24, it's time for another check of your weather for today. Here's what's happening. We've got a weak cold front that continues to drift across the southeastern islands, while high pressure builds behind it. A tight pressure gradient continues to generate moderate to fresh breezes. Mariners should exercise caution due to lingering swells, and beachgoers should exercise caution due to the moderate threat for rip currents along East Coast and Atlantic exposures. For all areas today, look for mostly sunny, warm, and breezy conditions with a chance of isolated passing showers, becoming fair and warm at night. Small craft operators should exercise caution due to lingering swells. Temperatures today, we're looking at highs getting up to around 86 Fahrenheit, 30 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down about 73 Fahrenheit, 23 Celsius. Here in 8 Mile Rock, it is currently 72 degrees under fair skies. In your extended outlook, it's expected to remain a dominant weather feature across the islands, promoting fresh to strong breezes and cool conditions. So for Tuesday and Wednesday, expect sunny and breezy weather, with a chance of isolated passing showers becoming fair and breezy at night. In the tropics, in the Central Caribbean Sea, we've got a small weak area of low pressure located over the Central Caribbean Sea that's producing limited shower and thunderstorm activity. It has a formation chance of about 10% through the next 7 days. And then a non-tropical area of low pressure forecast to develop along a front over the central portion of the Atlantic Basin over the next couple of days. It has about a 20% chance for formation over the next 7 days. That's your morning blend weather check. For another check of your traffic this morning, brought to you by RBC. Get a no-fee RBC loan plus 5 chances to win up to $5,000. In your real-time traffic this morning, in New Providence. At this hour, as usual, we've got a number of hot spots to tell you about. Milo Butler Highway, still heavy traffic for you from well south of the Fire Trail roundabout, straight up to Tawny Williams-Darling Highway. Tawny Williams-Darling Highway seeing some issues as well, westbound toward that roundabout and eastbound toward Gladstone Road. Things are clearing up there. Things looking better for you, as you're probably seeing some traffic assistance there. But that means the traffic is building up on the JFK Drive side. So eastbound along Lake Cunningham and westbound toward that roundabout from Prospect Ridge. We've got Saunders Beach at West Bay Street seeing some heavy traffic as you approach the New Providence Highway roundabout, and a six-legged roundabout seeing some issues in multiple directions, eastbound on JFK, southbound New Providence Highway, northbound on Milo Butler Highway as well. Then we've got Blue Hill Road, heavy traffic for you from St. Vincent straight up to Independence Drive and even through that roundabout on the way to Robinson Road and up to Cordo Avenue. So northbound, challenging traffic for you there. And East Street also busy for you near the Soldier Road intersection. Independence Drive, both directions backed up this morning for you. And Soldier Road seeing issues near Bunner Life Road and Old Trail. Robinson, extremely busy for you between Soldier and East-West Highway. Busy east of Fox Hill to about Johnson Road. Those are your hot spots. That's your real-time traffic and your morning blend traffic alert brought to you by RBC. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/Christmas Cash to learn more.
It's a Christmas wish for all of you. Get a no-fee loan from RBC. It's true.
This Christmas, your wish could come true with a no-fee loan from RBC. You have 5 chances to win up to $5,000 Christmas cash.
It's a Christmas wish for all of you. Get a no-fee loan from RBC. It's true.
Learn more at rbc.com/Caribbean/Christmas Cash. Subject to normal lending criteria. Conditions apply.
Hi, my AC just went out and I need someone to come fix it.
I'm sorry, we're closed.
Okay, what about tomorrow?
We're only open on Thursday. And we're fully booked.
Have anything next week?
No.
Okay, when can you send someone out?
The 22nd is open.
I'll take it.
Of December 2023.
With the best medical cover for your dollar, we're like an AC technician who isn't too busy for you. CG Atlantic Medical and Life. Good like that.
Know a company stuck in the Stone Age with papers stacked to the ceiling and just about nothing getting done? Don't let your business get left behind. Go digital and ditch the papers. At Plato Alpha Design, we create custom software to meet all your digital money. Give us a call today at 812-2195 or visit platoalpha.com. It's time to ditch the papers and let us help you go digital. At Plato Alpha Design, we're the leaders of digital transformation.
It's been 35 years since Custom Computers was founded, and we'd like to celebrate that milestone by thanking you, our clients and customers. You've inspired 35 years of expert service and support, partnering with the world's leading brands like HP, Apple, and Microsoft. We take pride in setting the bar for what you expect and deserve from a homegrown Bahamian business. We're here to serve you when you need us, so call 396-1101. Custom Computers, raising the standard since 1987.
What the? Ooh, sorry, it's 4 a.m. What you doing?
The CVS Bahamas Black Friday sale coming up November 24th and doors open 5 a.m. I doing a dry run because I won't be the first in line. They're gonna have over 50 items on sale.
Now, you know I used to run track. Let me do a couple stretches. We gonna have to do a relay to cover that whole store.
Don't miss the Black Friday sale. Friday, November 24th at CVS Bahamas. Southwest Plaza location only.
First Caribbean, we help you
to get what you want this year. Spin the wheel of wishes. Now trip for two to Miami. Spin the wheel of wishes. You can win loads of cash for Christmas. CIBC First Caribbean.
Win with your approved loan. Visit CIBC-FCIB/Wheel of Wishes for more information. Conditions apply.
Flying into Grand Bahama and need a reliable rental vehicle? Whether it's an economy, mid-size, full-size, SUV, truck, or 7-passenger van. Call 351-5737 for KSR Rent-A-Car. KSR Rent-A-Car's friendly staff offers the best in customer service with well-maintained, reliable vehicles since 1994. Drive happy while you're in Grand Bahama in a KSR Rent-A-Car. Call 351-5737 for unlimited mileage. All vehicles are air-conditioned and automatic with free pickup and drop-off. Restrictions apply. Be comfortable, safe, and reliable in a KSR Rent-A-Car.
At Wendy's, we are different. We don't just use beef. It's fresh, never frozen. Our burgers are square because we never cut corners. Served hot off the grill with fresh lettuce, tomatoes, onions, and American cheese. We believe in fast food done right. Always serving fresh, never frozen beef. Order a hot, juicy Dave single, double, or triple. Made with fresh, never frozen beef. Now only at Wendy's. Different.
Child, Fidelity can on this year with their new festive giveaway. You could win cash, an iPhone 15, get a bill paid off, PS5, all kind of things. Apply for a loan or an ASUS savings account, and you could win. Try our call them now. Yeah? 356-7764.
It's the season of travel, and we're ready to take you there. Western Air offers daily jet flights between Nassau and some of your favorite island destinations, like Bimini, Andros, Exuma, Cat Island, Abaco, and Grand Bahama. Or if you need to hop stateside, find out what all the hype is about and try Western Air's daily jet flight services to Fort Lauderdale. Remember, all tickets are open, no change fees, no cancellation fees, and the first check bag is free. Visit www.westernairbahamas.com. Western Air will take you there.
Looking for the ultimate getaway with luxurious rooms for tranquility and relaxation with friendly customer service plus high-speed internet? Look no further. Old Bahama Bay accommodations in West End adjoining ocean view rooms, perfect for families with modern West Indian colonial furnishings or elegant suites, exquisitely designed for the most discriminating guest. At Old Bahama Bay, you can enjoy the amazing beach, water sports, the pool, and so much more. Or cycle around the historical village of West End. For more information, click on oldbahamabayresorts.com or call 242-602-5170 or 242-602-5171. For the ultimate getaway, just a short flight or boat ride away. Old Bahama Bay, Bayshore Road, West End, Grand Bahama.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Look all around on the street, paint on Palmdale and over the hill. Cross the bridge to Paradise Island, but alas to no avail. So they all come to one conclusion, they're in Freeport or they're in jail. So if you're looking, searching and worrying, you'll find it's true without any fail. If you can't find your friends in Nassau, they're in Freeport or they're in jail. Auntie Alice looking for Mary, and she cousin Leslie and Gail. She even fly to Miami, Coral Gable and Fort Lauderdale.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are live in 8 Mile Rock, Grand Bahama. We're going to be here for the next 2 days. On the ground as we get ready for the by-election on Wednesday for West Grand Bahama and Bimini. Dwight Strachan, along with this special couple of shows brought to you by some special sponsors. We've got Western Air, Old Bahama Bay Resort, and KSR Rent-A-Car, in addition to our other fine and wonderful sponsors. And I'm Laverne, having an interesting morning. We're meeting the candidates.
Yeah, this has been good.
Yep. So far, we've met Neil Burrows. We're going to be talking, to Lincoln Bain and DeQuan Swain this morning. And we're hoping to meet the final two candidates tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. But interesting time so far here. Okay. We got some calls coming in. You can call us as well, folks. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Or call us toll free right here in Grand Bahama. Right here. Call us toll free 242-300-5720. We've got some calls on the line. Let's go to the calls. Good morning, caller on the air.
Morning, hey, Dwight. This is Trey calling. How are you, man?
Trey Ramming. Good morning. Office of Prime Minister Communications. Good morning.
I was just really disturbed we are disturbed by the comments. I mean, the desperate comments of the leader of the Upton movement, which is baseless. And we've already advised him that we intend to respond publicly to the issues, right? There's so much allegations out there that the opposition can respond to, including ones he came, but they rather make up these unsubstantiated stories about what they believe that the PLP is doing in this by-election. I mean, if the government wants, if the leader of the opposition wants to make claims against the government, there's sufficient. I mean, he don't have to lie or to peddle untruth just on rally stages to get people excited, I suspect.
All right, so you categorically denying that this is happening. I
would go even further. If Michael Pintard is so absolutely sure that the PLP is giving people money in the ground, why don't he put his money in his mouth and make an official complaint to the Commissioner of Police? If he's serious about his claims. If not, just stop playing games and take it back.
Mm-hmm. Now, can you speak for everybody, though? Do you know that there are party supporters who are trying to influence things and might be doing this on their own?
I could categorically deny that the Progressive Liberal Party is not engaged in any illegal activity on the ground in Grand Bahama.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. What else do you think about the campaign so far? Been a lot of claims about people's private lives. And we were talking about this earlier, concerns of that the language from the PLP seems to be one of suggesting that if you don't vote for us, these things might not happen. How do you respond to that?
I think what the government of the Bahamas is saying that we've been given a mandate for 5 years. And when we're the government today, we're the government today for all Bahamians. What we're saying is to give the candidate the PLP is putting forward the opportunity to complete the remaining 3 years the government has in power. What we've also seen is the Free National Movement was given the opportunity between the period of 2017 and 2021 to represent the people of West End and Bimini. And they have sought to do nothing in that time in office. We've made significant progress with the government complex. We have a high school being built in Holmes Rock. We've entered into a new agreement with the Bimini Airport. We signed a $200 million extension with MSC today. And so what we're saying is that the PLP have the evidence and the record of delivering for the people of West Grand Bahama. And that's so I think that what we're saying is that Kingsley is going to find himself a seat at the table. He's going to be part of a government that's delivering for the Bahamian people. It makes no sense sending a candidate to the parliament who will join an opposition that is divided and
But
find
these
himself
things will
embroiled
still
in chaos.
happen regardless of the outcome of the by-election, right?
Right, yeah, like I say, regardless of the outcome of the by-election, we would want someone who the government could work along with, who's one of us. But nonetheless, the government of the Bahama represent the Bahamian people, regardless of their politics. And I mean,
morning,
I
Mr. Rami.
I think the most important thing is, government saying, send us someone who could be at the table with us, and I think that's just the language we have there. Go ahead, Liber.
Yeah, good morning. A couple questions. But when you word it like that, people right here, the constituents, may interpret it as if the person that is elected, if they're not a part of the government, the things that you listed won't happen or it will be delayed.
Well,
so, I mean, it's just the wording. I understand what you're saying your intention is, and of course you're willing to, you're going to work with anybody. But when you kind of frame it that way, is there a fear that may be misinterpreted? That's my first question. My second question is, this school, part of the island, has been building for years.
Mm-hmm.
Does the government have maybe an estimated time of completion?
So let me answer the first question. Well, hopefully my comments this morning can provide some clarity for those who may misinterpret with the language being used. The government see, first, let me just start off the first basic principle. We are the government of the Bahamas, and that includes people who are independent of political affiliations. Regardless of the results, we see West Grand Bahama and Bimini as an historical PLP area, seat, and we will always do our part to make sure that stays in the PLP's column. And the only way you can do that is by delivering the real results that impact people's lives. And so that's the two fundamentals there. The third question, I think the Ministry of Works is aiming to have the school open either in the last quarter of the year or the first quarter of the year. I think what has happened, unfortunately, in our politics is that from time to time, when we see government change, projects designed to impact people's lives are delayed for whatever reasons, whether it be intentional by the new government of the day, whether the government of the day try to find ways to get rid of contractor, to put a contractor their political preference. There's a number of games that governments play that unfortunately impact people's lives when the government change. We've been able to open the complex and be able to fully furnish it. The second project I think that we're trying to get resolved is the Holmesrock High School or Holmesrock School, I put it like that. And I think that is being targeted for the later quarter of this year or the first quarter of the new year. I think that's coming, and I think you'll see that happening within the next 1 to 4 months.
Trey, before we let you go, you're Director of Communications, and it keeps coming up that people asking, why don't we have debates in our election system? What's your view on that? And
I think we're
likely to get to a point where we can see debates in constituencies, especially something like this, a great opportunity, a by-election with a limited number of candidates.
I think that we last year the last election attempted to provide an environment for rigorous debate. I think what the challenges that we've had in the previous time is what is the qualifying factor of those who participate in the debate. I think that last election we did participate in the University of Bahamas debate at a particular level. So I think that we have to create the environment or the platform that has integrity in the process, that ensures that it doesn't become a spectacle, that we could have a safe place for the exchange of ideas that is going to be to the benefit of persons understanding the options in front of them. I do believe that people that persons who put themselves forward have a responsibility to have their ideas, their record, and their personal lives contested in a very public way. And so until we could find a means where we could have an organization, I think in Jamaica they have the National Debate Commission, a body that is responsible for organizing these debates. I think that we have to do the exact same thing in the Bahamas, where it has the credibility for persons to want to participate, and it's not seen as a spectacle. And once we could remove that it will be a spectacle, and we have a consensus on the eligibility and who participates, I think we can have a pathway to doing it. I think that the initiative of someone coming forward and doing it.
Okay. I mean, I think you mentioned it. You mentioned UB doing it, and I think they were close. But
Yeah, I
just they
think
couldn't
UB was
get
close, but I
the
think-
participation of all the parties.
Yeah, and I think the UB, the challenge with, I think the UB has an opportunity to do it again. I think that what we have to really define is the eligibility, because it's, in some instances, it ended up being a political, it ended up being a spectacle. It ended up being, unfortunately, for some people see these things as an opportunity just for plain mockery. And I think, you could, I think in the United States, they do it by the amount of money persons have polling, how persons are polling, and they use a benchmark. And we don't have a benchmark in the Bahamas. What we did is once you're a registered political organization, you're allowed to go on the debate stage. And so I think that we have to find what metrics may work for us in the Bahamas in a way that it doesn't, that we could find a balance between inclusiveness and not marginalizing voices that want to represent, and trying to get the jokers out of the way so the real persons could debate ideas and thoughts.
Yeah. I mean, an easy one here, right? It's 5 candidates, 1 constituency.
I think
can't think of anything simpler than that.
I think this by-election is interesting in a lot of ways. I mean, it does feel like a national election because it has implications for all persons involved in the process, particularly between the two major political parties. The extent to which rallies are effective in getting the message across, we'll see in the coming days. Yes, I do believe that there should be more opportunities for people to flesh out their options. We try to use rallies, we try to use radio rounds, we try to use dissemination of pamphlets. But I think what you see lack in these instances is that there's no one filling the vacuum, Dwight, to say, present the opportunity for the exchange of ideas. And I think then there has to be some kind of political maturity to exist, so people could feel like they're entering a safe space for it, because no one wants to feel like they're being ambushed in something that is very consequential for their political organization.
Wow. Okay. Thank you very much for calling in. We'll look out for your official statement on Pintard's comments. But Trey Ramming, Director of Communications with the Office of the Prime Minister, thanks for calling. I think we have some other callers on hold. Caller, good morning. You're still there?
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
Is this Dwight?
Yes, you're live on the air.
Okay, I've been on here for a while. I wasn't sure it was you. Welcome to Grand Bahama. I'm from 8 Mile Rock. I've been listening to all this diatribe by Mr. Rami. Concerning the money being put in T-shirts, this is the mantra of the PLP for years. I'm 71 years old, and every election this has been happening. I've got a personal friend who past week, was told when they received money in their hand from the man highest in the land, from the Prime Minister himself.
Well, okay. You see, that's hearsay, though. I mean,
pardon me?
This is all hearsay, though. I mean, it's some serious stuff there.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, but what's your view? What's your views on the election? What do you think's?
My views are a lot of diatribe and promises that haven't been kept for years, and suddenly Grand Bahama been getting all this attention the past week. There's this new candidate, the PLP candidate, has been pulled out of the bull rush. He could hardly speak, and he is promising like 7 different, and have done. in a matter of 3 years. They didn't do it in 12 years while Mr. Wilson was in the MP. How can they get to do this in 3 years now? I mean, these things are just impossible. So why do they keep fooling the people?
Okay.
That's my view.
Thank you very much for calling in.
Yeah.
Claims. Thank you, caller. Okay. Hey, let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
I listened to Mr. Rahman a little while ago. He denied everything what Pintard said, but he did not deny, or you didn't give him an opportunity to deny, that the contract that they given out to pave the road in Bimini was not put out to tender. The Progressive Liberal Party, everything what you see being done in 8 Mile Rock, West End, and in Bimini, it's only a form of indirectly driving the people again to vote for them. We need to stop this in the Bahamas, man. And people need to open their eyes of how the Progressive Liberal Party continue to operate in this country. We need to put a stop to it. From the Prime Minister to the Deputy Prime Minister, you listen to them. All they doing is bribing those people indirectly. If you don't have common sense to these leaders in our country, brother, you'll give them another 15, 20 years in Parliament. And that's all they doing. They bribing you. The people can't pay their bills. People find it difficult to survive. But yet you come into a new territory wherein one seat should not make a difference if you have 32. But you see what they doing? They putting all their forces. It reminds me of Humpty Dumpty. All the king horses, all the king men up there. But you know something? God is going to intervene in this election and many more to come. Because we pray to God every day for this change to come about, because we cannot continue to bribe the people of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, not with the public treasury in the best interest of those who now sit there. We need to use the public treasury for every Bahamian in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, whether there be an election or there is no election. But service and serve the people. That's why parliamentarians are elected. But not just because there's an election, you send all the king horses and little Mr. Humpty Dumpty. That is so wrong in this country. And I pray, God, that the Bahamian people will understand. And we need the media like you, Dwight, and like many others to stand up against this type of injustice. Because that's what it is. It's injustice you see going on in the Bahamas today. Watch them.
Okay.
They're taking the people for granted, Dwight.
Appreciate it, caller. Thank you. Very, very interesting words. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. There's a couple of your messages. We can take more of your calls as well. Again, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Calls toll free, 242-300-5720. This message here, wish the PLP and FNM would disappear the way your engineer got rid of that static 10 seconds after you read the text about static. Okay, all right. What do you think? He should run for office to work his magic on the country?
That's funny. That is funny.
Okay. This person says, let's be fair. There was a major hurricane, major disaster, Hurricane Dorian, and a pandemic never seen before during the last administration. That puts a hold on a lot of projects claimed to be neglected. Let's wise up, Bahamas. Do you buy that, Laverne?
No, I don't. And I'll tell you why. Because, government can move mountains if they are invested, if they are interested. Look at the amount of attention and focus that's been happening in West Grand Bahama now. And that now that there's a by-election going on. Prior to the by-election, did we hear anything about the school? The school that I have to be honest with you, I found very curious because initially there were 2 different contractors on that one property. For me, that was like, what's going on? But whatever. But now we're talking about the school. This government complex that looked like, I didn't know when it was going to open. It has been named. It has been officially opened. Is it a coincidence that it's happening around the time of by-election? So yes, there was a pandemic. Yes, there was a hurricane. But things have happened. And attention has been, it was deemed that the focus was needed. So, no, I'm not subscribing to, a lot of projects have been put on hold. A lot of projects have been on hold, but I tell you one thing, a lot of projects have gone through.
Yeah, wow. Let's take these calls really quickly, then we've got to take a break and we're going to go to the news. Caller, good morning, you're on the air.
Well, Dwight, good morning, and to everybody in studio and to the nation. You know what's hysterical, if you thought that was funny? The $100 ham. That's hysterical. But anyway, maybe the politician's on to something giving you ham for Christmas. You know, we had a hurricane pandemic, but it's how you handled it. You handled it like a superhero or like Mr. Zero. And that's why you're not there. Let's move on. As the only independent candidate on the radio this morning, I'll tell you what I see in Freeport. Nothing. How come only West End getting a little building paint up? What about Freeport, 50,000 people? They getting nothing? So the bottom line is, guys, I'm super happy. Finally, someone's gone to Freeport, wouldn't call no names, and got everybody, all the king's horses and men to come and help the people finally. But I want the Guardian, I hope the newsroom's listening, and Dwight, you can head this up. Go there for Christmas and see how they're being treated. Is everybody flocking there to help them then? Or they don't even have one of them $100 ham? Watching the clock, I'm going to leave you on this. 50 years I've had yellow and red, and not one new hospital, not one new city. They failed. But you continue to vote for them, and all the best. The energy security is going to eat you right up. Buy one of them, because they still cheap. Or you could go to Miami and pick one up for $20, but it'll cost you $800 for the airfare, car, rental, and hotel. See, we need to fix the Bahamas, Dwight, and quick. Y'all
Thank
have
you
a
very
good
much.
one.
Appreciate it. We'll take one more call, and then we got to go. Good morning, call you on the air. Are you there? No. Okay. All right. So let's take the break. More of the candidates for the West Grand Bahama Bimini by-election on Wednesday. We've got Lincoln Bain. Yes, he is here. That's coming up after the news. This is Morning Blend live from Grand Bahama in 8 Mile Rock. Brought to you by Western Air, Old Bahama Bay Resort, and KSR Rent-A-Car.
And Margaret looking for Lil. They look all around on Bay Street, Baintown, Palmdale, and over the hill. Cross the bridge to Paradise Island, but alas to no avail. So they all come to one conclusion: they're in Freeport or they're in jail. So if you're looking, searching, and worried, you'll find it's true without any fail. If you can't find your friends in Nassau, they're in Freeport or they're in jail. Auntie Alice looking for Mary, and she cousin Leslie and Gail. She even fly to Miami, Coral Gable and Fort Lauderdale. But she still come to this conclusion after using plane, car and sail. If you can't find your friends in Nassau, they're in Freeport or they're in jail. So if you're looking, searching and worrying, you'll find it's true without any fail. If you can't find your friends in Nassau, they're in Freeport or they're in jail. Oh! The Supreme Court now was in session. The defense done put on the robe. The prosecution come with the evidence, and the jury started to probe. But when the judge called out for the witness, a surprise was heard in the court. When a lady showed...
Win a vacation for two to Sandals Resort in Jamaica using your RBC Visa credit card in the RBC Gift Yourself the Ultimate Getaway promotion. Just spend $1,500 or local equivalent. Promotion ends on December 18, 2023. Visit rbcultimategetaway.com for more details.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome to a special edition of Morning Blend Business. We're coming to you live from 8 La Rock in Grand Bahama on this Monday, November 20th, 2023. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner. Again, we're here ahead of the West Grand Bahama and Bimini by-election, which is Wednesday. And this special 2 days we're going to be here, brought to you by Western Air, Old Bahama Bay Resort, and KSR Rent-A-Car, in addition to our other regular fine sponsors. And so we're here, we're on the ground, we're getting a temperature, a feel of the temperature for the by-election, and we're meeting the candidates. We've already met Ternille Burrows this morning, and now we've got Lincoln Bain with the Coalition of Independents. Good morning, sir. Great to have you with us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right, so let's get this out of the way, and then we'll get into politics. But you are a very interesting figure, a controversial figure. You were Mr. Controversy, and you're still, it seems, hanging on to that. In fact, we got I think you're kind of banned from our station even, but we're making some exceptions here as you're a candidate. Let's talk about this. Well, why are you going in that direction when it comes to making the points you want to get across?
Yeah, I don't know which direction you're referring to. We just speak the truth. And in 20 years of me doing this in the public light, I've never been sued for defamation. I've never been arrested for defamation. Almost everyone in the business who talk have been arrested. I've never been. I never speak what I don't know about. And I normally deal with the issues that people are afraid to address. And I deal with them fearlessly because I don't need to fear any politician. And I think that's what's lacking in our country. Many of us are afraid because, the sponsors might stop sponsoring or you might lose your job or they might attack your business. I don't have that fear. Wherever God sends me to go, I go. Whatever he tells me to say, I say, and that's me.
Okay. So I have a question. We're going to segue. Is it okay for us to segue? Or you have another question regarding that? You may have another one? Okay.
Yeah. And then we know that if you are criticized, if people do critique, there's often a video about it. There's often something unflattering about the people. We've been the victim of it as well. I think you've even called for boycotts of our station. Why do you handle criticism in that manner?
No, I don't handle criticism in any negative manner. I am attacked on social media, etc., every single day. There's not a day that persons don't wake up, they call them political trolls, with some kind of attack or lie about me. I don't respond to them. I don't attack people in that manner. But if someone says something that is not the truth or that I don't agree with, I have the democratic right to respond to them. I don't talk to them in a derogatory way. And all of us are human. And so sometimes we may speak in a way that we shouldn't. And any time that I have done that, I've come out and openly apologized. I'm never afraid to apologize when I'm wrong.
Okay, great. So what I want to know is why West Grand Bahama and Bimini? You are from Nassau. You were running in Nassau at the last election. This by-election has come about. Why did Lincoln Bain and COI decide to put forth a candidate for West Grand Bahama and Bimini?
Because we see a lot of things that are happening in the country right now, and we're very displeased. There's so many government missteps and things that you may call scandals that have been going on for the last 2 years. And we need some real opposition in the House. The opposition in the first part of it was very weak, up until they started protesting against Keith Bell. They were very weak. A lot of people were saying that to them, and it seems like I was being the opposition from outside of the House. We need representation in the House of Assembly, and this unfortunate incident happened, and there's an opportunity for another party, a third party, not connected to the FNM and PLP, to get into the House. Our party felt that I was the strongest person to get in there, because it's not just about winning the seat. When you get in there, they want someone who can hold the government's feet to the fire fearlessly. And that's why they chose to send me. I initially wanted to send someone else, and we did vet other people. I think it was 3 other people in order to do that. But they decided that they wanted me in the House at this time to stand up for the people. I have been focusing on Grand Bahama for quite some time. All right, I've been telling people that Grand Bahama is the key to the new Bahamas, and we've been talking about our vision for Grand Bahama. West Grand Bahama is a very important part of that. I have roots in West Grand Bahama, not personally, but my grandfather is from West Grand Bahama. His name is Michael Bain. I'm named after him, coincidentally. And he was the chief of security, the head of security at the Jacta Hotel, which everyone knows about. All the people in West Grand Bahama knows my grandfather, and they keep telling me tales about him, because I was the youngest of the grandchildren. There's one younger than me, and they would tell me, a lot about him. And so it's a place that I feel at home. I feel very welcome there. People have taken me into their homes, even people from the PLP and FNM, and they've said, well, I know your granddaddy. We used to take hog plums out of his tree, and so I felt very welcome here.
So would this be where you're going to be based from now on in the upcoming general election, or would you go back to New Providence if this shouldn't go the way
I feel
you
very,
hope?
very welcome here. I feel very at home here. I don't want to preempt our executive team, who has the final decision on where any candidate goes. But I would want to be here.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk a little bit about the COI, Coalition of Independents. Tell us about the organization. To many, it seems like it is a one-man show, but from what you say, there's a team and there are people working behind the scenes. Let us know what's going on, really.
There's no way that we could have been doing the things we've been doing for the last 3 years if this was a one-man show. I don't have enough hours in the day to accomplish the things that we've been accomplishing. We have a lot of prominent people that are part of this. All of us know how politics works in this country. Some people have to stay behind the scenes. Some people have high government positions, and they don't want to be exposed as yet. But there's a very strong team of persons who are working with us. Some of them we have put out in the front as shadow ministers, but there are others. If you look carefully at our events, you will see other prominent Bahamians who are there. There are former magistrates that support exactly what we're doing that are out there. There are attorneys, there are doctors, there are persons running big companies who are part of this organization. And we have a strong structure. As you can see at our rally, we brought our Grand Bahama executives up there. All right, and they run the show here, and it was them who voted for me and insisted that I would be the candidate, even though we have other persons that we were looking at. So there's a strong team that is backing us, real Bahamians, and they are talented, gifted persons that are there making this happen. Now, like with any party, if you hear most of the things you hear from the FNM, you would hear the leader. All right, you don't hear from every other candidate or potential candidate. When the PLP speaks, you'll hear from the chairman or the leader most of the time, and so that's how it works. All right, but with us, it's basically the same thing. I'm standing out in the front line, but I always tell people the most important part of the body is the organs that you don't see. That's to keep us alive. I may be the face, but it's really the organs that keep you alive, not the face.
All right, so what makes the COI different from the PLP and the FNM besides the individuals and the personalities?
What makes us different is that the FNM and PLP have a strong record of failure as it relates to our country. And this is just speaking bluntly. They have failed us. If you look at all of the family islands, there's so much that needs to happen. There's so much neglect that has been going on. Everywhere they'll say, we need ambulances. That's simple. That's a right to life. We need fire trucks. All right? The clinic is in disarray. We need a morgue. The dock is damaged on a family island. That's how you connect them. There's so much things that has gone wrong. It seems like the country is failing. The healthcare system is failing. We were at accident emergency outside in the porch in the rain just a couple of years ago. All right? In the 21st century. You know, we've had one hospital in 70 years. The last hospital built in New Providence was built by the UBP. All right, the country has been failing under both of these parties. We need a new vision, and that's why we presented new vision for like island states. And everyone on the family island is loving it. That's why we're getting the traction that we're getting at this time. Island states means the money made in your island stays in your island. You pay a royalty to the central government so they can operate central affairs like the police, etc. But island states means your money stays in your island. You have a district council, more powerful than local government. But we'll use that same law to implement it right away. Where you have a district council from the people in the community and a mayor who carries out their bidding. So you don't have to run behind a politician. You don't have that worry that, as soon as we vote for you, you're going to disappear. No. The mayor will fix the roads. He will make sure that whatever needs to happen in that constituency happens in that constituency. All right, and it doesn't matter who the politician is anymore. You don't need his number. If he don't answer his phone, it doesn't matter because the people will be responsible with their own budget. I always give the example in Harbor Island. They send $30 million to Nassau every year. They get back $380,000. That's shameful. Their dock is in disrepair. They have billionaires coming there with all these homes. But if they could control their own money, don't you think the first thing they would do is fix their dock, for example?
All right, so we talk about that a lot on the show, but it seems like a lot of people don't understand what the role of the MP really should be. And clearly you just outlined some of the other things, but that's at a different level, a true local government level with a mayor, maybe a governor or premier for the island state, something like that. But what do you see as the role of an MP?
The role of the MP under a COI government is going to be to go into Parliament and pass legislations to benefit the payment people. That's their only role. All right, you should not have to call the MP to get speed bumps to your corner. These simple stuff. But the system right now, they keep it that way so they can keep control. If you look at all of our legislation, it goes back to the prime minister or some other minister, and that should not happen. You know, if you want to go to Miami and open a business right now, you don't have to see the governor. You don't have to see Biden. You don't have to see anyone. You go to the department that deals with that. You open your business in one day. That's done. All right. And that takes out all of the corruption, etc., etc. All right. You as a Bahamian can go to America today, and you could have your company incorporated and open today, right now. But here they make everything difficult because they want everything to go under the politicians so they can keep their hand on the power. And we're going to take the power from the politicians and give it to the people.
I don't know if you heard it earlier, but we were saying we're out here as opposed to over there because somebody here had to call New Providence to ask if we could be there, and somebody said no. But we got a real problem. We got a real problem in this country.
Wow. I mean, and based on what you're saying, you know, we came here and we stood up and fought for this building. This building was building for 10 years. I heard them with their stories that was only building from 2016. Everyone in the community knows that isn't true. All right, it was building much before that. But this building was here sitting down. They would not open this and the school down there. And we came here, we advocated, we showed the rest of the Bahamas what is going on because it's a nice building, well built. And it was just sitting here. And all of a sudden, they had to open it. This is the kind of advocacy we need. And this is how we need to take power from them. Because the only reason this wasn't open, well, there's some other reasons, but one of the main reasons is because you're busy renting from other people. All right, that you don't need to be renting from.
So I want to kind of segue away from that, and because I know Dwight, you and Dwight could talk about local government or city mayors and township all day. Mm-hmm. But what I want to know is, having gone into this area, into West Grand Bahama, into Bimini, how is your message resonating with the people, and what do you view as what are they talking about in terms of their most pressing needs, what they see and want for themselves?
Mm-hmm. It isn't my message that needs to resonate with the people. The people have their own message. When people are hurting, you don't have to sell anything to them. If a man is thirsty, you don't have to sell water to him. He just needs a drink. When we came here, we saw a constituency that is hurting. I had no idea of the pain and suffering of these people because of hurricanes, where materials were donated to fix their homes. All right, materials were donated, and these people were neglected. They didn't get their materials in most instances, and monies were donated to repair these homes, and the people were neglected. You saw videos of the Prime Minister going to people's homes with tarp on the roof is leaking, and he is telling them to give me your vote. That is sickening. That could even be entertained. The politicians must have some form of insanity to think that they should do that to the people. That means you have failed. When we've done the calculations of the estimated 360 homes that needed repair at this time, it only, based on some estimates that people have sent to us, is only going to cost about $900,000 to fix all these homes. They have spent far more than that on their election at this point. Persons who did home repairs have come to us and they've shown us documents to show that they did work but were not paid. Now all of a sudden, because we are here and an election is coming up, they are promising people to fix their roofs. And they started to fix a couple of them, but they're promising people to fix their roofs. They're giving out contracts to do the small home repairs programs again. But the problem isn't getting the contract, the problem is getting paid. And those who have done the work from the past have not been paid. There are persons who work on this building behind us who have not been paid. The contractors have not been paid their money, and they've been complaining.
So would you say then that is the biggest issue, that they've done work and they're not been paid, or there are other pressing issues that people in the community have shared with you?
Yes.
And so share some of that with us.
There are many pressing issues, and I think Hubert Ingram said one of them. There are people who just need food. A simple, basic need. Right. Only air is more needed than that. People just need food, man, in the 21st century. And we have a government who is here for 2 years. And people in this community need food. I spoke to a teacher at one of the schools, and they said that half of the students don't have food to eat. And they have to spend their time, money, and efforts thinking not about how to educate them, but how we get some food for these children today. And
so
I know
how does Lincoln Bain, as a member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama and Bimini, address these kinds of issues?
Well, the first thing you're going to get is a member of Parliament who can speak up on the issues, because as Obi said to me, when you're in the party, you have to toe the party line. And Obi met me one day and he encouraged me to keep going because we need people like me. He said, because when you're in the party, you can't say anything that's going to hurt the party. That means sometimes the people have to get hurt so that the party doesn't get hurt. And so if the roofs aren't being fixed and Patricia Parker is the MP, she can't say nothing because it's going to hurt the F&M. And the same thing for the PLP. But now you're going to have an MP who has done that since I've been here. Since I've been here, I've spoken out about the roads, and they came the next day and started patching the roads from 8 Mile Rock all the way to West End. All right? Now, you could decide whether you feel that it had to do with our exposure or not. It's up to you. We talked about the lights going down west. They came running and putting up the lights. And the people who did the work is who informed us of that is the government who all of a sudden rushed to say, hurry up, just do it. All right?
Do you think that's part of the fact that there's a by-election going on, and so people are trying to do whatever they can to sway voters?
Isn't that how it always happens?
Actually, these problems that they're having, there have been many elections where they still have this problem. This building was built through 2 elections, 3 administrations. They never fixed it. They had these road problems going back for a very long time. Those lights, 50 years, they were asking them to put up lights right there. But it's because that it was exposed and someone strong came and talked about it that it happened. So all of these problems they haven't, they aren't new problems. No. They've had them 3 election cycles. But this time, you have someone who's going to expose exactly what is going on. And that's what this community is going to get. You're going to have a young warrior.
It's a busy street.
Yeah, we're outside, so it was a big truck passing, and we wanted you to be able to hear everything that Mr. Bain is saying. Go ahead.
You're going to have a young warrior. I've not just started this. I've not just started this because of election. For 20 years, I've been fighting for the Bahamian people. Some matters that they thought were impossible to win, and we've won every single time. We fought the big people in this country, and we have won. We fought against companies. We fought against the government, and we have won every time for the Bahamian people. And that's what I've spent my life doing. That was my form of giving back. I hate to see people hurting. And I've never seen any constituency hurting as much as particularly the West Grand Bahama part of this constituency. There are people literally with holes in their roofs right now.
If you're not successful, are you going to continue to advocate, work with, and on behalf of the people of West Grand Bahama and Bimini, even if you're not successful? Because, candidates come in and they make promises, and we're going based on, what has happened, and they say things, but then they disappear because they weren't successful.
Just to put this in perspective for you, we are already successful. Administration building was open, we believe, because of actions that we have taken. Roads have been paved. Lights have been put up. promises to open a school finally after 10 years are being made, to fix a police station, to fix certain things are being made. I don't think it's because of election, because there are many elections in past. So we are already successful. We have already come here and fought for the people. Some of the people are getting their homes fixed now because of it. It's partially because of the election and partly because of I've exposed the situation that 85% of these homes needs to be fixed because of the hurricane. And so we are already successful. All right. Now, the people have a choice whether they want to get more of what they've been getting. This is the biggest issue for the people right now. There are promises being made from the government. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. No one else can do nothing for you because we're the government and we have the purse. But here's the reality. You know what someone is going to do by what they have done. You know that I'm going to fight for the people because I've been doing it. Even before any interest in politics, I've been fighting for the people. All right. And getting results. Someone asks what I'm good at. That's what I'm good at. Fighting for other people. What has the PLP been good at? Failure. Brave David said he's going to fix this and fix that in this community. Okay, let's see what you did in Cat Island. Oh, you're going to build an airport in West Grand Mama. You're going to build an airport in Bimini. Let's see the airport in Cat Island. Oh, you're going to build a police station in West Grand Mama. Let's see the police station in Cat Island. Oh, let's see the clinics in Cat Island that the nurses called us into. And so if he has not done anything in his constituency, why all of a sudden you think he's going to do it here? After election, they're going to disappear again. That's what's going to happen.
Any specific Bimini issues that you are concerned about that you feel need to be addressed?
Of course, you see that there's a flooding issue in the road. There are some land issues that's going on in Bimini that I'm also going to address. There's some workers issues that is going on. People who work at the resort in Bimini, they're not allowed to have a union at this time, and there are some issues that need to be addressed with them. Everyone in Bimini knows that if Lincoln Bain is your MP, no employer is going to abuse you. They are going to know that they can't touch the people in this constituency anymore. All right? There have been battles I've fought with banks and insurance companies where just because my name was CC'd at the bottom, all of a sudden, the decision was made, just pay them out. Just give them what they spoke because they don't want the heat that's going to come. I'm going to stand up for the people in Bimini. There's some docks that need to repair in Bimini also. There's a issue on...
Well, what can you do as a one-party, I mean, it'd be just be you or by yourself, basically. Can you do anything with the infrastructure issues if you're not a part of the government?
Well, as I said to you before, some things only takes advocating for. And as you can see, all of the potholes were fixed from 8 Mile Rock all the way up to West End. Mm-hmm. All right? So just from advocating. A building was opened because of advocating.
So why not continue in your activism? Because, primarily that's what we knew you as, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. So why not just continue in that activist role as opposed to now becoming quote unquote a politician? Yes. Why not just continue?
Good question.
Yeah.
Politicians.
You were making inroads in that role.
Yes. Politicians in the Bahamas don't respond to activism. They respond to political threats. That's what moves them. That's why all of a sudden, while they were saying that there is no shantytown issue in the Bahamas, what shantytown issue on the headlines? And then I go and jump on the plane and show them the shantytowns and walk around the shantytowns, and all of a sudden they have to address it. All right? Because it's a political threat to them. Everything they're doing now is because we threaten them politically. They may feel that we might win, but they may feel that we may take enough votes to hurt them. Right. And that's a political threat to them. So they have to take action on stuff that we're talking about. If you really pay attention to the government, a lot of what they've been doing has been in response to stuff that I was saying or advocating for that we were putting out there. And so that is the threat. And so the next thing is... change never comes if you depend on the people who are in the position benefiting from the way things are to make that change. It takes activists to go into Parliament and make the change for the change to come. If Pinlin and Milo Butler and them had decided to stay outside and be activists, we would have still been under the UBP today. We would have still not been able to go on Bay Street at certain hours. But it takes the right people to go in the House of Parliament where the change can be made and make the change. And that's why we decided to go with this.
This is going to go back, I guess, to decentralized government, but you can see it. You come into the Freeport-Lucaya area, you just cross that street, and this is a totally different world.
Yeah.
What do you make of that, and what needs to happen outside of what we talked about earlier to really transform this part of the island and eastern Grand Bahama as well?
Yeah. This is not unique to this area. all of our family islands are being neglected, and that's because you have, 10 to 15 persons in the cabinet who are determining what happens in the entire country. They don't know what's best for this area, and that's why you saw the plans that were released by Kingsley Smith were talking about things like putting a farmer's market in West End. There's no farm in West End, and he's talking about that's going to benefit the farmers in that area. You live in this area. You grew up here, and you don't know that this is a fishing community, that 8 Mile Rock, West End, and Bimini is fishing communities, and they had no plans for fisheries in their plans. And I had to go live and show people that, look at this. There's nothing for you in here. This is just someone in Nassau probably put this plan together so they could say they have a plan. But we need to have a plan. Now, in their last rally, they talk about putting docks there. Things they hear me saying. Why should I have to do that? But if the people of the community decide what happens in their community, then they would just put the docks there. This is the change that we need, and I hope everyone understands this. This same system that I'm talking about, all of the civilized countries have this, whether they're communist, or democratic. America, England, China has the same system. The local government determines what happens there. All right? Russia has this. England has this. Everyone. But our politicians, they keep trying to hold on to power, and what they're doing is keeping us neglected and poor, so that when they come around with $100, you feel that they did so much for you. But they're the persons keeping you in that state. They're the persons keeping your place depressed. It's not that the money isn't there, It's this think about this. Ginn donated an ambulance and a fire truck to West Grand Bahama because they had nothing. So the money question is out because it was donated. The government took those things and sent them to Freeport. How do you do that to people? All right? So Ginn said, okay, we'll buy another ambulance for you all, since they did that. They took that too and sent it to Freeport. All right? Now there's 3 ambulances and 3 fire trucks in Freeport. Don't you think it makes more sense to have one in the west, one in Freeport in the center, and one in the east? That makes more sense, one of each. Now your response can be quicker. Maybe if we had an ambulance here in the west, maybe Obi might have lived. How many other people could die because of that? And that's just poor representation. There's no way that Lincoln Bain is the MP for West Grand Bahama and Bimini, and they take a donated ambulance and send it to Freeport, and I would sit down and let that happen and say nothing. They would have hell on their hands.
Only have a couple minutes left, but how are things looking? What are you hearing on the ground? What are the people telling you?
It's looking very good. Everywhere we go, people are saying that they're tired of PLP and FNM. They want change. Many of them said they don't, it's a small community. They don't want to come out front and do certain things, but they are doing it. I think it shocked the whole political scene when we had our motorcade. People were able to be in their cars with the glass up and not be seen, and that was probably one of the largest motorcades in political history in this country. To the point where the PLP pundits were saying that it was 24 miles long and it was blocking traffic. I don't think it was 24 miles long, but it was the largest motorcade that I have ever seen, and that shows you that people are ready, all right, for change, all right. But the government is coming now with all of these promises, and it's up to the people. Hey, you want more promises? What did they promise you last time? Did you get it? What did they promise you before that? Did you get it? Obviously, you got none of these things, and so you have to make your choice. And so on the ground, the people are saying that they want change.
And to the people out there who are wary of Lincoln Bain and the Coalition of Independents, who feel that you would try to stifle dissent or anybody who disagrees with you, what do you say to them?
No, I agree with dissent. I believe in freedom of speech. Even in our organization, if we're in a meeting and someone dissents, our rule is, you can talk to any of our executives when you talk to them, the rule is that person must be allowed to speak. No time is on them, no limit, because that's the dissenter. If everyone agrees, that person could be right, all right, and everyone else could be wrong. I have no problem with dissent. I have no problem with that. I've had people come and attack me publicly in the news, and I've gone and showed them love. All right, that is not who we are. Now, I know that a lot of the media, they like to show when we go out and protest, they don't show the part where we are applied to go where we're going, that we're peaceful and we're doing what we came there to do, and then they'll show after we're attacked by the police, etc., and then they'll show the uproar afterwards and make it seem like we're rebel rousers. We're not rebel rousers. We're here to stand up for our democracy, and that's it. All right? And so even if I disagree with someone and what they have to say about me, that's not for me to go on attack.
Okay. Lincoln Bain, thank you very much.
Thank
Appreciate it. It's been an interesting discussion, and we'll We'll talk some more. We'll see about our little ban issue. We'll address it. But anyway, thank you very much.
All right, my brother.
Appreciate it.
All right, thank
All
you.
right, good luck to you.
God bless you.
All right. We are live here in 8 Mile Rock in Grand Bahama. This is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
Down Palmdale and over the hill. Cross the bridge to Paradise Island, but alas to no avail. So they all come to one conclusion: they're in Freeport or they're in jail. So if you're looking, searching and worried, you'll find it's true without any fail. If you can't find your friends in Nassau, they're in Freeport or they're in jail. Auntie Alice looking for Mary, and she cousin Leslie and Gail. She even fly to Miami, Coral Gable and Fort Lauderdale. But she still come to this conclusion after using plain car and sail. If you can't find your friends in Nassau, they're in Freeport or they're in jail. So if you're looking, searching and worrying, you'll find it's true without any fail. If you can't find your friends in Nassau, they're in Freeport or they're in jail.
Ready to save? You can put $100 into the CFAL Savings Express Plan and make sure your money keeps growing. Earn interest on your savings while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
There's a new electric vehicle in town, the Jack brand of SUVs, trucks, sedans, and commercial vans, available only at Easy Car Sales, home of the fully electric vehicle. For a powerful, smooth ride at a fraction of the cost to drive, leave the pump behind and hit the road with Jack. Visit easy242.com to see our brand new Jack models and drop into Easy Car Sales for a test drive. It'll have you singing. Hit the road with Jack, and don't you pump gas no more.
You don't gotta stand in line, pay online. You can pay your premiums on time. Right at Canina.com. Whether it's life, home, auto, marine, or health, it's all inside your palm. Pay insurance at Canina.com. Whether it's life, home, auto, marine, or health, it's life, home, auto, marine, or health, we've got you covered. Right at Kalina.com.
What the? Ooh, sorry, it's 4 a.m. What you doing? The CVS Bahamas Black Friday sale coming up November 24th and doors open 5 a.m. I doing a dry run because I won't be the first in line. They gonna have over 50 items on sale.
Now, you know I used to run track. Let me do a couple stretches. We gonna have to do a relay to cover that whole store.
Don't miss the Black Friday sale. Friday, November 24th at CBS Bahamas. Southwest Plaza location only.
It's the season of travel, and we're ready to take you there. Western Air offers daily jet flights between Nassau and some of your favorite island destinations, like Bimini, Andros, Exuma, Cat Island, Abaco, and Grand Bahama. Or if you need to hop stateside, find out what all the hype is about and try Western Air's daily jet flight services to Fort Lauderdale. Remember, all tickets are open, no change fees, no cancellation fees, and the first check bag is free. Visit www.westernAirBahamas.com. Western Air, we'll take you there.
Get ready to jingle all the way to Christmas with Fidelity's festive giveaway with over $10,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs. Apply for a loan or open an ASU savings account for a chance to win big. Visit any of our branches for more details. Terms and conditions apply.
Flying into Grand Bahama and need a reliable rental vehicle? Whether it's an economy, mid-size, full-size, SUV, truck, or 7-passenger van. Call 351-5737 for KSR Rent-A-Car. KSR Rent-A-Car's friendly staff offers the best in customer service with well-maintained, reliable vehicles since 1994. Drive happy while you're in Grand Bahama in a KSR Rent-A-Car. Call 351-5737 for unlimited mileage, and all vehicles are air-conditioned and automatic with free pickup and drop-off. Restrictions apply. Be comfortable, safe, and reliable in a KSR Rent-A-Car.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Looking for the ultimate getaway with luxurious rooms for tranquility and relaxation with friendly customer service plus high-speed internet? Look no further. Old Bahama Bay Accommodations in West End, Grand Bahama offers adjoining ocean view rooms perfect for families with modern West Indian colonial furnishings or elegant suites exquisitely designed for the most discriminating guest. At Old Bahama Bay, you can enjoy the amazing beach, water sports, the pool, and so much more. Or cycle around the historical village of West End. For more information, click on oldbahamabayresorts.com or call 242-602-5170 or 242-602-5171. For the ultimate getaway, just a short flight or boat ride away. Old Bahama Bay, Bayshore Road, West End, Grand Bahama.
Earning zero interest on your savings at the bank? With as little as $100, you can start earning interest on your money while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank with the CFAL Savings Express Plan. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
What the?
Ooh, sorry,
It's
babes.
4 a.m. What you doing?
The CVS Bahamas Black Friday sale coming up November 24th and doors open 5 a.m. I doing a dry run because I won't be the first in line. They gonna have over 50 items on sale.
Now, you know I used to run track. Let me do a couple stretches. We gonna have to do a relay to cover that whole store.
Don't miss the Black Friday sale. Friday, November 24th at CBS Bahamas, Southwest Plaza location only.
Gearing up to bag those Black Friday deals? Use your Scotia credit card and use it to enjoy those amazing deals in-store or online. You could be one of 5 lucky winners from a jackpot of $1,000 with any purchase of $120 or more from November 23rd to the 28th. Don't have a Scotia credit card yet? Apply today for a Scotiabank credit card online at bs.scotiabank.com or visit any Scotiabank branch. The more you shop, the more chances you have to win. Learn more at bs.scotiabank.com. Conditions apply.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Business Report brought to you by CFAL. Fidelity Bank's Exuma branch, in partnership with Cash and Go, officially opened on Exuma Friday. And Central Bank Governor John Roll contending that while there is now a banking solution for the island, there needs to be a nationwide liberalization of mobile data to ensure the reach of digital payment platforms is not overly restrictive. Roll says that while the opening of the Fidelity branch is a good thing, Exuma still typifies financial inclusion challenges. He says that with respect to financial inclusion, many family islands still have significantly less access to financial services than Exuma does now. You can read more about his comments in today's Guardian Business section. And the National Airport Development Company, NAD, says it's anticipating it will top last year's passenger numbers at Lyndon Pinling International Airport during this upcoming Thanksgiving holiday weekend. According to airport data, 30,022 passengers filed through the country's main gateway during the 4 days surrounding Thanksgiving in 2022, which is only slightly down from 2019's historic levels when there were 30,192 passengers during the same period. In a statement, NAD says projections indicate that between 30,000 and 33,000 passengers are expected to travel through the airport between Thursday, November 23rd, Thanksgiving Day, and Sunday, November 26th. The Bahamas has already seen record-breaking visitor arrivals so far for 2023. Up to the end of September, there were 7.21 million visitors to the country, slightly below the 7.24 million in 2019. Travel is expected to further pick up over the last few weeks of the year, which are traditionally high traffic times for LPIA. In your market watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Friday. Your market movers. Consolidated Water down 2 cents, closing at 6.74. Emira Incorporated up 1 cent, closing at 8.66. The BISX All Share Index closing at 2,946.45, unchanged. Recapping the week. The local market ended the week with 57,971 shares crossing the exchange, with 15 trades to accumulate a value of 267,905. The BISX All Share Index lost 1.63 points, or 0.06%, to end the week at 2,904.48. Year to date, the index is up 259.42 points, or 9.81%. The week's volume and value leader, Focall, moving 26,482 shares in 5 trades for a value of $119,169. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business report, brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. And tune in tonight to CFAL Talks, right here on Guardian Radio 96.9 at 6:30 p.m.
The Supreme Court now was in session. The defense done put on the roll. The prosecution come with the evidence, and the jury started to probe. But when the judge called out for the witness, a surprise was heard in the court. When a lady showed from the back bench, Your Honor, he in jail or in Freeport. So if you're looking, searching and quarrying, you'll find it's true without any fail. If you can't find your friends in Nassau, they're in Freeport or they're in jail. If you're looking, searching and quarrying, you'll find it's true without any fail. If you can't find your friends in Nassau, they're in Freeport or they're in jail. If you can't find your friends in Nassau, they're in Freeport or they're in jail. If you can't find your friends...
We are back. We are back with Morning Blend Business in Grand Bahama and 8 Mile Rock. This special edition of the show. Dwight Strong along with Laverne Gardner. And we are here again getting ready for by-election for West Grand Bahama and Bimini, which is Wednesday. And we've been meeting the candidates today. And this morning we are very pleased to have Daquan Swain with us. Good morning, sir. Great to have you with us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so you've been on Morning Blend before.
Yes.
Now, you were with a different group then.
A different group? What do you mean?
Who were you with at the time when you came on?
Always independent.
Always independent?
Always independent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Always independent.
Why independent? Why not aligning yourself with one of these political organizations?
Well, I feel like for a long time now we've been doing the same thing, flip-flopping between two organizations. And I think Grand Bahamians, especially West Grand Bahama and Bimini right now, deserve something different. I feel that, it's time that especially West Grand Bahama, they actually get rewarded. They actually benefit from what they should benefit from. I feel that between the PLP and the FNM, West Grand Bahama and Bimini has been neglected for years. So for me, I feel that they need an independent voice in there to actually stand up for them, be there for them, intimately involve myself in the community to make sure that their voices are heard, their issues are heard, and that's carried to the House of Assembly.
But can you really do something? We hear the PLP saying, if you vote for us,
Yep.
we're going to fix that, we're going to put this here, we're going to do all this new stuff.
Yep.
What can an independent candidate really do?
Well, I love that question. I'm so happy that you asked that. So actually, I have a proposal for, I have my supporters, but I want to say this to the PLP, and I want to say this to the FNM supporters. Your best chance right now in order for your community, your economy, and for residents to benefit is to vote independent. And let me tell you why. my track record speaks for itself when it comes to standing up in Grand Bahama. And if you vote me an independent, your constituency allowance will be reinvested back into the community. But with voting independent, you have the best of three worlds. Let me tell you why. Because if you vote independent, the PLP will continue to work and the work won't stop on Wednesday because they will actually be trying to regain the seat. So over the next 3 years, you will have the PLP fighting day in and day out, working for you, trying to get their seat back. And on the F&M side, they will be working day in and day out to try to get the seat. So if you vote independent, you will have me working for you as an independent. You will have the PLP working day and night. Residents will actually have these organizations fighting to help them over these next 3 years. So the benefit is this: if they vote independent and do something different, the work wouldn't stop on Wednesday. They will have me working for them and speaking up for them in the House of Assembly. They'll have the PLP and the F&M fighting to do different community projects. The PLP can then prove the projects, the $80 million airport, the $2 million road works. These are just announcements. But these 3 years will give them the opportunity to actually practically do these plans.
I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. But what do the people say when you present that to them?
They say that's a genius plan, because this will actually be the only opportunity and the first of its kind where West Grand Bahama and Bimini can benefit from three different entities: the PLP, the F&M, and myself as the independent. Because at the end of the day, it's all about the betterment of the community. And if we could have three organizations working for us, myself as the independent, the PLP, and the F&M, the only result of that are the residents benefiting.
Okay, Daquan Swain, tell us a little bit about yourself. People who might not be familiar, who are you and why are you running in this election?
Well, my name is Daquan Swain, and those in Grand Bahama know me to be a fighter. Any issue that we have had in Grand Bahama, especially, Daquan has been there. When it was the power issue, we stormed the doors to protest. When it was the Grand Bahama Port Authority with the ease of doing business for Grand Bahamians, we stormed the door to protest. Roadblocks, we had meetings with the police. So any issue, any problem that happened in Grand Bahama, Daquan was there to make sure that Grand Bahamians were treated fairly and they get what they deserve. I'm a banker by profession, but my heart is with Grand Bahamians, and every Grand Bahamian knows that. There aren't too much people who put themselves, their resources, and put their heart behind us completely assisting people and assisting Grand Bahamians. And I've been doing that for years. So, I feel that even in this job, every job, the first thing that happens is you present your resume. So I feel that that's the first thing to happen. And in this case, your resume is the causes that you will fight for, the people that you have assisted, the issues that you fought, the solutions that you brought to the community. And all of that, Daquan has a track record of all of that.
Well, you're a relatively young guy. Why you want to get mixed up in this dirty politics game? Why would you want to do that?
Well, for me, and I love that question because, sometimes people say, he's super
so young. Right.
Yeah, but the benefit of that is, if you have a mix in the demographics where you have a young person like myself who brings in the innovation, the new ideas, the new technology, mixed with those experienced politicians, that's how you create a channel for change. But if you continue with the same demographic, the demographic now is 60, 70, 80-year-olds making the decisions. They can't relate to the issues in the community for a 20-year-old, a 19-year-old, an 18-year-old. But you know who can? I can. Because I walk the same times with them. I walk the same streets with them. So I could understand what they go through, how they go through it, and why they go through it, and know how to fix it. So when you have a mix with the young and more mature with experience, that's how you channel true change.
So I know you ran here before.
Yep.
In the general election.
Yes.
And you came back by election.
Right.
But how has it been going? Are you seeing more traction? Are people responding more positively to your message?
I am seeing extremely more traction. Extremely more traction. I feel that the last election, people wanted what they wanted, and it was another opportunity for them to see if it would work out. And for them, it didn't work out. So now you have a lot more people and individuals and residents who are now open to something different. And again, we spoke about it just a couple of minutes ago, and I'll repeat it. The best opportunity is right now, and it's to vote independent. And again, that's because you benefit from 3 different organizations. If they vote in the Quan Swing as an independent, the PLP will work day and night, not past Wednesday. They will work for the next 3 years trying to regain the seat. The F&M will work day and night trying to get the seat. And then me as the independent will work for them because I have the seat. So you will have 3 different people. I tell West Grand Mom and Bimini, this is the opportunity for them to have their cake and eat it too. And it's the best time to do it. But the only time they make that happen is by them voting independent. And that's the Quan Swing.
As you're going door to door and, sharing your heart, what is it? What are you seeing as the most pressing issues? What's coming up more often than not? What are the people on the ground saying to you when you speak with them?
So we have a multitude of issues, but the main ones that are coming up are housing and unemployment. See, and oftentimes we misconstrue poverty with unemployment, but it's 2 different things. I tell people in West Grand Mama and Bimini, this is one of the areas where residents own their property, they own their home outright. They don't owe anybody for it. But the issue is there are no opportunities and there are no jobs creating in the area. So that is one of the most challenging things to hit the economy right now. People want opportunities. They're tired of handouts. They're tired of standing on social services lines for vouchers and certificates. They want opportunity.
What would you be able to do as MP to help with that situation?
Definitely. So the first thing is providing that opportunity. I tell people that, in the community you have a long-term and you have short-term goals. But there's certain things that you could put in place immediately to get people to work. We have projects such as Beautify Grand Mama that's supposed to employ individuals. We have local government. We have different opportunities that we can do right now to get people working whilst we provide the long-term big investment like foreign direct investment. So the first thing is to invest locally in the economy to get the people opportunities and to get them working while we work on the large long-term goals like foreign direct investment. But the plans are there for us to make that happen from day one.
Laverne asked this earlier to another candidate. I mean, you're a strong voice in the community, an activist, an advocate. Why not continue to do it that way? Don't you think you could get more done and be less polarizing if you stayed out of the political realm but continued to push for the issues from the outside?
Well, for me, what it is it's a bigger platform to do more. When it comes to communities such as West Grand Mama and Bimini, you need a big platform to make that happen. And running in politics and actually getting in the House of Assembly, see, it's certain things you could do from the outside as an activist, but it's some things and most things take policy shift initiatives. You can't do that as an outside activist. You need to be in the House of Assembly to literally table resolutions and bills for the betterment of your community. And you can't do that from the outside. So getting into politics gives you the best of both worlds. You can continue your local activism while you stand up and fight in the House of Assembly. So that's why.
So we talk about this a lot in the show. I've asked everybody about it, about decentralized government, more autonomy for Grand Bahama. Where do you stand on that, for real local government, not just the play thing we do here? What do you say to that?
Absolutely true. And, that's something that I'm a big advocate for. Local government needs more power. If we're going to have local government, they need to be empowered with a real budget, not a play budget. It's a joke what they have now, the resources that they have in place now, and the process is antiquated. When you have a local government council trying to do things, in order to get a PO for paint, you have to go through 10 different channels, and it takes 3-4 months just to get a can of paint.
They had to call Nassau to ask if we could be here today. They had to call Nassau. And Nassau said no. Nassau said no.
See, exactly. And why is that? What's the issue? See, the problem is you have so much individuals and, government does this thing where they want to have a manager, assistant manager, supervisor, assistant supervisor, assistant to the assistant supervisor, and things have to go through so much processes to get simple things done. And it shouldn't be like that. So to go back on the local government point, local government has to be empowered to the level where they actually have a real budget to do real things. They cannot do real things with a play budget. So it starts with actually giving them the tools and the resources that they actually need to do real work. It's beyond maintaining parks. So if we're going to talk about local government, they should be invested in, not just saying, we have local government for the sake of having local government.
Let me ask you something. In 3 years, if one of these 2 big parties come to you and they say, Daquan, we want you. We want you. You stop being out there as an independent in the wilderness. Come with us. What would you say to them?
Let me change that. Has that already happened?
Wow.
Well, listen, I'll be completely honest with you. You know, that's been happening from 2021. And, you know, I would never say never to anything. But, again, that's been happening. And you see, I'm still standing here as an independent because I don't see the parties right now functioning under the philosophy that Daquan Swain has for the economy. So until then, Daquan Swain will stand independent until the parties decide to align with actually being there for the community, not lining their own pockets and not being there for friends, family, and lovers, but actually doing the job of the community. So until then, Daquan will stand independent with his own philosophy that will better the community intimately with no hidden agendas.
Wow, Wednesday's pretty much here. What are you going to be doing over the next, these few hours leading up to the by-election?
You know, the next few days, me and the team, we have a lot of logistics to handle with the different polling division, making sure our workers are trained, making sure our workers are on site, making sure that we have all our necessary paperwork for the election day, revisiting the residents, letting them see our face right before election, calling them, checking up on them. So just what we've been doing even before this by-election, being there for the community, continuing to be there for them and letting them know that, hey, listen, you actually have one person in the race who actually genuinely has your interests at heart with no hidden agendas and who actually knows the community, not from a script, not from a rehearsed plan, but actually knows the community, knows what the business community needs, knows the business individuals in the community so they know their issues, knows what Bimini needs. Everybody now talking about banking in Bimini and banking in West Grand Bahama. I've been talking about that for years. They don't know how to make it happen. I'm a banker by profession. If anybody knows how to get banks in Bimini and West Grand Bahama, it's Daquan. So, and again, it's one thing to know the issues, but it's another thing to solve the issues. So I feel that with me, I know how to solve the issues.
Daquan Swain, thank you very much. Wishing you all the best. Good luck to you. And thank you for talking with us this morning. Really appreciate it.
All right.
Laverne Gardner, that is day one down for us. One more. We want to get a picture with you before you go. One more tomorrow. Thank you so much. And thank you to my producers, Wally with us here and Arlington in the studio. Thank you all so much for making it happen. One more day tomorrow, and then the big by-election on Wednesday. Well, that's it for us today on Morning Blend Business. Want to thank Western Air and Old Bahama Bay Resort and KSR Rent-A-Car, our special sponsors for this special broadcast. Again, we're back tomorrow. Everybody have a great day. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green next.
Mr. Johnson trying to find Freddie and Margaret looking for Lil. They look all around on Bay Street, Baintown, Palmdale, and over the hill.